alive right about now. Good to be alive right about now.
Hey guys, what's up? Figured I'd get started right away this time. Rip the Band-Aid off quick. I hope the title of this video is relatively self-explanatory. Consider this a sequel to my top 20 worst hits of the 2010s video, but this time, a song doesn't have to end up on one of Billboard's year-end Hot 100 lists to qualify. In fact, it specifically has to avoid the year-end. Maybe it got caught between years, maybe it debuted in the top 10 and fell off really fast, maybe it just barely scraped the weekly chart or only hit the bubbling under. We'll deal with the details later. This is mainly an excuse for me to get some stuff off my chest about a bunch of songs that I would never really have a chance to talk about otherwise, that have just been floating around in my brain for the past decade like angry little worms. And now they can float around in your brains too. By proceeding onward, you are essentially choosing to ingest a parasite.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, this is number 20. The other 19 songs on this list are worse than this one. If you look down, or to the right, depending on your device, you'll see a cool list of videos that you could be watching instead of this one. I would not blame you. When I made my list of the worst hits of the 2010s, I expected some of my choices to be a bit controversial. Unsurprisingly, I got some pushback on I Need Your Love, to date probably considered my weirdest opinion. I didn't expect a considerable amount of love for Maps by Maroon 5, that was surprising. Apparently, I have more unconventional takes than I thought. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys watched that video and walked away thinking 5, 6, maybe even 7 of those songs were perfectly fine. Somehow I doubt this list will have the same problem. Feel free to take as much time as you need to finish this video. I know I did. 3, maybe 4 sessions is what I'd recommend, just for your own sake. We should probably talk about the actual song for a bit. This is Andy Grammer. You may remember him from Honey, I'm Good, the unlistenable and bafflingly successful top 10 hit from the year prior. This was the failed follow-up single that charted for 3 weeks and did not manage to crack the top 40. Personally, I'm shocked he couldn't recapture that lightning in a bottle. Maybe the lyrics weren't meatheaded enough this time. Kind of ironic that out of the 2 songs, the one that is literally explicitly about how cool it is to be Andy Grammer is the less egotistical and self-congratulating one. But in his defense, he got everything else right. He still got that obnoxious bounce, you can still hear that psychotic smile in his voice the whole time. In fact, it's even worse now because he constantly sounds like he's about to break into a screech.
And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed.
And he succeeded once again in creating one of the most annoying hooks imaginable. Yeah, truly a mystery why this didn't catch on. Any jovial energy this thing might have been able to maintain through the ungodly manic scrunge of the verses is immediately killed when the chorus hits and this weird loud 808 squashes your soul. Andy Grammer meets trap. What a horrifying concept. Only slightly more horrifying than Andy Grammer meets gospel.
I think I finally found mine.
Well, you know what they say. One man's hallelujah is another man's moldy ska leftovers. I'm not even religious and I find this offensive. Aesthetically offensive. It's like putting a drop of holy water in your shitty homebrew. What is the goal, Grammer? Was this supposed to play in churches or something? How do you do, fellow priests? Praise the Lord. Only bang your wife. Amen. This is DreamWorks core. Actually, no, it's less than that. It's Illumination core. You know what? No, worse than that. It's whoever's responsible for Ratatouille core. Poor Andy was never able to get another hit song in the end. He had one more honest go at it with Fresh Eyes, a song which is almost okay, a convenient bookending to his hit-making career as nothing else he made would ever touch the Hot 100 again. Now he's resorted to making slam poetry, either in an active effort to go bad viral or because he really is just that type of guy.
What if the scoreboard tallied love? What if the stock market value love? What if your 401k was judged by how much you lifted others up?
What if you could buy your groceries with love? What if the president was love? What if truck drivers drove love instead of trucks? Think of how much better that'd be for the environment. This is like if Hobo Johnson was happy.
What if the point of this life was love? Yo, I am not merely an economic unit.
I feel embarrassed, I gotta admit. I remember kinda liking Keep Your Head Up when I was younger. I listened to it again recently, it's still okay, it's like a 5.5. I always figured Andy Grammer was an almost presentable guy and Honey, I'm Good was just a particularly annoying fluke. But no, turns out it was the opposite the whole time. Seriously. I wouldn't blame you.
I don't really care 'cause I'm done. I don't really love this.
So here's a fun fact for you. As it turns out, it's way harder to research for an almost hits video than it is to research for a hits video. The Billboard Year-End Hot 100 is a pretty decent parameter for what is and what is not a hit. At least it became one once it started counting digital sales, and immediately ceased to be one when Spotify forever ruined the December charts, but at least it's a metric. There is no metric for what counts as an almost hit. The list of every song that charted on the weekly Hot 100 throughout the decade already gets us into the several thousands. But what about the bubbling under? What about the pop airplay top 40? What about songs that weren't even released as singles but still got some buzz? 850 year-end hits in the 2010s might sound like a lot, but it is nothing compared to the potential dozens of thousands of songs that could qualify for this video. I eventually settled on a whatever the fuck I want policy, but that doesn't even really simplify things that much because I haven't heard every song. What if I'm missing stuff? So I decided to crowdsource. I asked you guys to make some suggestions on my community page, and one of the most common responses I got was Team by Iggy Azalea. Honestly, I don't know if I agree. Is it a good song? Probably not, but this list is reserved for the absolute worst of the worst, and this is nowhere near the worst Iggy Azalea song, which disqualifies it outright. In fact, if you can ignore the Iggy Azalea of it all, the beat kinda goes hard. But you know what doesn't go hard? You know what goes shockingly flaccid and limp?
Pulled up looking picture perfect, baby. High price, but I'm worth it, baby.
This song certainly feels like a failed single. I don't know if it actually is one, though. It peaked in the top 30 and got a decent amount of radio play. I chalk this up to a caught between years situation. This might be the biggest hit on the whole list, so there's a fair chance that almost all of you have heard this, and some of you may even vaguely remember hearing it. And to those people, I offer my deepest condolences.
Why did she just ever do it, baby? Ride with me.
So maybe it's not a failed single, but it is certainly a failed follow-up. For many reasons. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I noticed it. You noticed it. It's very obvious what this is. A blatant attempt to recreate Fancy note for note. And it did not succeed in capturing the hearts and minds of America like Fancy did. I hated saying that sentence. Seriously, this is almost the same song. It's got the same structure, the same 3-note DJ Mustard type beat, the same pop hook. They even went as far as to precisely recreate all of the flaws of Fancy. The chorus on Fancy had absolutely no regard for what key the song was in. But the way Charlie XCX delivered it with full confidence and some insane double tracking almost kind of made it work. They tried to capture that same carefree vibe on Beg For It's hook, but it just ended up sounding wrong. Those are just the wrong notes to be sung over this beat. The melody peaks in the wrong places. The lyrics have the wrong inflections. How did no one notice this? Someone must have noticed this, right? Did no one catch it? And that's not the only thing they copied from Fancy and made worse. If you thought the performativity sounded bad on Fancy, oh my god.
Describe Biggie groundbreaking what the word is. I tell him if he ain't ballin', he should hit the shower. When in New York, I be poking around on medicine. Oh, yellow gold on me like I'm Trinidad.
You're not fooling anyone. We all know you're Australian, Iggy. You don't talk like that. Your voice doesn't sound like that. And you don't look like that. What the fuck are you... Holy shit, what is this? What am I looking at? Why did you do this?
Talk a big game, but I know you won't last. Keep the dollars on me, keep designer on me. Man, start tripping, I'ma find a homie. Swear up on my face like, who you think you are? Talking all this trash like, blah-de-blah-de-blah.
The production is fucking awful, for the record. It's got this scraggly little synth thing that groans at you on every beat. It can't decide if it wants to sound compact or spacious, so it goes for an impossible, uncomfortable mix of the two. And it's got some of the worst drum machine work I've ever heard, featuring the fakest snare known to man placed right at the top left of the mix. This sounds so horrid that it honestly makes me feel bad about all the hate Black Widow got. At least that song has a creepy off-kilter vibe intentionally, and at least that shitty pop hook is actually on key, which you think would be a really low bar, but for Iggy Azalea, no, apparently not! Is this Iggy Azalea's worst charting single? Yes, that's why it's here. Though I will give a quick honorable mention to Mo Bounce, which will actually make a brief appearance in a little while. Keep an eye out for it. I will always remember Iggy Azalea as the one-hit wonder who somehow got 7 top 40 hits. I feel like that's how the rest of America will remember her too. But I know that's not how she wants to be remembered. She's actually still making music to this day. I guess no one told her. Her 2018 EP, Survive the Summer, which her career did not do, scored her one minor hit, Cream, featuring the guy who fucked a 17-year-old when he was 25. This one is most famous for accidentally being played over a loudspeaker that one time.
Please rise for our national anthem.
Open up the safe, bitches got a lot to say.
I mean, in 2018, that's the anthem America deserved, let's be honest. Her 2019 album, In My Defense, which is both the title of the album and the first thing you say when you're caught listening to it, got her one more minor hit, Sally Walker, and that would be her last. Her 2021 album, The End of an Era, a title which is correct but about 6 years too late, I don't know why she keeps setting me up like this, her first album was called Ignorant Art for fuck's sake, she's just always done this, scored her exactly 0 charting singles. Not even the one with the guy who fucked a 17-year-old when he was 25 managed to crack the anything. And the last few rows of her discography form an empty dashboard pattern that you'll be seeing a lot today. I love how many of those dashes have citations. Yes, in fact, this song did chart not on the Hot 100, but hey, 7 people bought it on iTunes, that's pretty cool, right? And I love the most recent one that's just called Money Come. It's like she's begging money itself to please come her way again like the good old days. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, sweetheart. At least I didn't think that was gonna happen until I saw what else she'd been up to recently. It seems she's seized back her own means of reproduction, so to speak. And she made 4 milk. Oh my god. I mean, fuck, sure, if it works, go for it, why not? You got my respect. I wonder if she still does the accent on there.
There's no emotion on my face cause I'm not. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide or run.
Hey, you know who else I haven't heard from in a while? Robin Thicke. I think the last time I even heard his name at all was that one time in 2016 when I decided, hey, you know what'd be cool? I should make a Worst Songs of 2007 video. So I went to the Billboard year-end chart for 2007 and who do I find but Robin Thicke. Hey little guy, what are you doing here? I thought you were a one-hit wonder, but no, apparently you were a one-hit wonder twice in 2 different decades. That's something.
I'm lost without you, can't help myself.
This little forgotten gem right here is called Lost Without You. Yes, the letter instead of the word because he was very hip back then. Is the song any good? Fuck no. Lost Without You may initially seem like a love song by Robin Thicke, but upon closer inspection, it's really a love song for Robin Thicke.
How does it feel to know that I love you, baby?
Ugh, good fucking god, man.
Tell me how you love me more and how you think I'm sexy, babe.
Dude, fucking stop.
Nobody else. You don't want this guy, you don't want that guy. You wanna touch yourself when you see me.
Who could have guessed this would all inevitably end in a narcissistic flameout? Truly, there were no signs. I never did end up making that video, but if I ever do make a Worst Songs of 2007 list, expect this one to make an appearance. Very, very high. But it'll be a little less fun now that I spoil what would be the main joke of the segment, which was, hey guys, did you know Robin Thicke had a hit song in 2007? Like most people, I kinda assumed Robin Thicke just popped into existence out of thin air sometime in 2013, but no, as it turns out, he's been making music since 2003. If you think that beat sounds familiar, yes it does. Oh, bad samples. Time is a flat circle.
How does it feel?
Lost Without You was his first big hit, and everyone seemed to like it despite everything about it. I'm not really sure why the guy wasn't able to take this newfound fame and make a stable name for himself between the years of 2007 and 2013. No idea why the public didn't immediately latch on to Shakin' It for Daddy featuring Nicki Minaj. Yes, the number 4 instead of the word 4 because he was still hip even in 2011. But regardless of all those miserable failures, the planets still aligned one fateful day in 2013 when the very stupid, extremely mediocre Blurred Lines hit number 1. Not because of the merits of the song itself, obviously it sucks. Rather, thanks largely to the controversy surrounding the dogshit low-effort video containing a bunch of very uncomfortable-looking, almost naked ladies, and even more infamously, tons of big red hashtags, because of course Robin Thicke was very hip in 2013. We all remember the discourse, right? Is this song rapey? Maybe? The video certainly is. I just want to help those poor ladies. Get them a jacket, maybe. Creep-ass video. But the song?
And that's why I'm gonna take you good girls. I know you want it.
The way these guys talk to these girls, is it extremely uncomfortable? Yes.
Try to domesticate you, but you're an animal. Baby, it's in your nature. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it.
I mean, it's certainly something to think about. It's like the song was designed to make people hate him. Especially considering the overplay. Seriously, I would rather listen to Blurred Lines The Debate for an hour than listen to Blurred Lines The Song even one more time. Frankly, it's no surprise he was divorced after this. You can't be a wife guy who makes songs like this and also cheats on his wife. You gotta pick one or the other. But he wanted it all, and in the end, he was a wife guy no more. To add insult to injury, the Thick Man and his buddies famously got sued by the Marvin Gaye estate because the song happened to sound kinda similar to a Marvin Gaye song. Sorta. Honestly, that statement is an insult to gotta give it up. Who's really on trial here? Everyone knows the lawsuit was frivolous bullshit, and the fact that he lost is widely regarded as a bad decision with horrifying implications, but no one actually felt bad for the guy personally. He lost his wife, lost a shit ton of money, and everyone was just like, yeah, that's what you get for making me listen to Blurred Lines, you asshole. And it didn't exactly help that he released an album just one short year later trying desperately to manipulate his ex-wife into coming back to him. It went over about as well as you'd expect an album with that theme released by a nationally disgraced douchebag to go over. Everyone saw right through it, and as far as I know, it never managed to crack 50,000 copies sold. And speaking of crack, turns out the guy was also addicted to cocaine. This dude's life had fully fallen apart, just nothing going his way at all. And that was the last time I ever heard about him. He never did anything else that ended up on my radio or my social media feeds or the local news stations or anything. He was done. Stripped of everything and thrown in the garbage. But that can't be all there is to the story, right? That's a sad ending. Let's see what the guy's up to nowadays. Thankfully, he's not doing OnlyFans, and surprisingly, he never did manage to get Paula back, even though that album made such a convincing case. It's probably for the best that he finally moved on and did what every 40-year-old divorced man does. Found a woman half his age, got engaged to her, and popped out 3 kids. Good lord, 3 kids and they're still just engaged? Robin, buddy, it's time. Buy her a dress, rent a farm or something. I mean, we know he has the money. Just take a cut from the massive front-end payment you must have gotten for that album you released in 2021. Yes, Robin Thicke released a new album in 2021. But come on, that can't be news to you guys. I mean, it performed well enough to peak at number 93 on the wrong Billboard US Albums chart. You must have heard of it by now. And apparently it was pretty good, too. At least according to the Singer's Room article that ranked the top 10 best Robin Thicke songs of all time that, believe it or not, was released in April 2023. According to this guy, the 2021 single Look Easy is his 8th best song, which is funny because I never would have guessed the guy even had 8 good songs. Look Easy was released in 2021. It hit the Billboard charts in the 3rd spot for the adult R&B airplay category with the most requests of any song in the middle of August. The tune continued to climb up the charts until it hit number 1 in the same month. This tells us that Robin Thicke is still on his game and riding chartbusters. Yeah, I don't know about that. All this is to say, he's doing alright. He built something back up in his personal life. Well, unless you count the countless abuse allegations that were levied against him by both his ex-wife Paula and several other women. Yeah, quite the piece of shit, this guy. His career is still in shambles, probably always will be. I certainly don't see him becoming a thrice one-hit wonder among 3 decades. But why not? What was really the final nail in the coffin? What ultimately did him in? If you ask random music nerds what happened to Robin Thicke's career, you'll probably get one of 2 answers. Some people will claim that Blurred Lines rebirthed and re-killed his career in one fell swoop. Some will claim that the batshit insane album Paula is what ultimately put an end to him. I have a different theory. Have you guys heard the follow-up single to Blurred Lines? Yes, Give It To You. To and you instead of to you, because he's so hip, even when he sounds like Minnie Riperton.
So amazing. I give it to you. Girl, give it to me.
I mean, what do I say here? You have ears, right? You hear this too? There's a reason I just made you sit through a Robin Thicke career retrospective for a good 7 minutes. Good lord. Not surprised the Marvin Gaye estate didn't try to nab this one.
Baby, I got an eye for you, got an eye for you, I got a smile for you, cheese.
I mean, if you thought Blurred Lines was off-putting, holy fuck, bro.
I got a gift for you, I got this for you, a little thick for you, a big kiss for you, I got a hit for you, big dick for you, let me give it to you.
So I actually went and printed out some applications for restraining orders, just, you know, for any of the women in this music video or any other women in Robin Thicke's life who might want one for whatever reason. I went and filled out most of it for them. You just need to sign your name here, the date here, and then just drop it off at your local police station or courthouse. I didn't know how many to print, so I went with, about 200.
What's that girl? What's that, baby? I like that girl. I like that, baby. Only that girl.
Luckily, there was no discourse about this song, probably because it sounds so immediately and outrageously awful that no sane person would ever buy it and no radio station would ever play it. But also, a big part of the problem with Blurred Lines was the god-awful music video, and the video to Give It To You was honestly pretty fine as far as vibes go. It's a wide open space this time, so there's no lingering feeling that the models might be trapped in there. And instead of just bouncing on their heels uncomfortably, this time they're doing real dances that kind of resemble a marionette with a few broken joints. Fitting for a song that resembles a Skrillex build-up with a few broken joints. Oh, thank God the red text is back. I was getting worried there wouldn't be huge red text in this video. Between the jackhammering bass, the synth that sounds like it's drowning and constantly gasping for air, seriously, why the fuck does it just keep cutting out like that? The way Robin's falsetto sounds ear-piercingly grating over these fake trumpet things, and a pre-chorus build-up that wouldn't seem out of place in a horror film. I have no idea how this made it to the focus group testing page, let alone past it. Who produced this garbage? Yeah, that checks out. Wonder why this guy and the Blurred Lines guy got along so well. I know this came out right after he released one of the biggest hits of the decade, but honestly the fact that this even hit 25 on the charts is insane to me. I guess the featured artist might have helped give it a bit of a push. Actually, this is going to be a fun game. Everyone who has not heard this song yet, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to guess who's featured on this. Your only hint is that he was a big up-and-coming artist at the time. Ready? Go. All right, ready?
You're like a needle in a haystack. I wanna sit you where my face at.
Hey, Kendrick, what's up, buddy? Remember when some critics got really scared when he started doing these garbagey pop guest verses? They were all worried that Good Kid, Mad City was just a fluke. Thank God he released To Pimp a Butterfly not too long after this, permanently cementing his reputation as one of the greatest rappers of all time, so much so that he could continue to do garbagey pop guest verses and it wouldn't affect his legacy even one bit. It takes a man who is very, very secure in his discography to re-record the Bad Blood guest verse in 2023, and he has earned that security, let me tell you. His verse is easily the best part of the song. It knocks 2 Chainz' verse out of the park, which, I mean, isn't really much of an accomplishment considering he just repeats that one phrase in his name a bunch of times.
Let's put this thing in action. Do it. Let's put this thing in action. 2 Chainz. Let's put this thing in action. Do it. Let's put this thing in action. Do it. 2 Chainz.
Great job, buddy. Enjoy the participation trophy. In his defense, that is about the amount of respect this song deserves. But thank God Kendrick ignored his best judgment and actually tried here, because he's responsible for the one part of the song that actually kind of sounds good. Or at least could theoretically sound good if you removed it from this dumpster fire beat.
This can be detrimental. T-shirt and panties, that's your credential. Your cotton candy, I need a fist for I ain't off the.
And it goes without saying that he absolutely blows Robin Thicke out of the water.
You know you're looking so damn fly. You're looking like you fell from the sky. Angel.
Oh, duh. Fell from the sky, angel. Right, that's good. You know what? Thanks for explaining that one, man. You really had me stumped for a second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the song that made America go, I'm done with this fucking guy. Really, because that's how I feel right now. Good riddance, asshole. What's next?
Get up, yeah, everything I said. Messing with your head, messing with your head. Hey, I was doing just fine before I met you.
Remember that time in 2016 when the Chainsmokers released one of the biggest hit songs of all time? It was called Closer. It was really annoying and weirdly arrogant. It had that one wrong-sounding middle chord in the verses and then an awful 3-note drop. You might remember it. I was there. I saw what went down. They made #selfie and everyone was like, God, these guys suck. Then they made Roses and everyone said, wait, are these guys good? Then they made Closer and everyone said, oh, never mind. And you'd imagine the Chainsmokers wouldn't even be able to hear the hate over the sound of the millions of dollars piling up, but oh boy did they.
Cause my friends don't read the papers, and they don't really care if we're awesome or not.
And it got to them. It got to them so much that in 2018 they finally said enough. No more thoughtless head-empty vibe music, no more silly pop songs, and no more having other people do the vocals. This time it's serious, and it's personal. They're gonna tell you how they feel about the shit you said to them. And you know what? There's merit to that. Does a sick boy not bleed?
I'm from the east side of America, where we choose pride over character.
Yeah, the Chainsmokers are awake, and they've got some shit to say to Coastal America? Alright, buddy, you're losing me.
I'm from the east side of America, where we choose pride over character.
Yep, that's the East Coast of America, alright. Narcissistic and prideful. Classic East Coast. And nowhere else.
And we can pick sides, but this is us, this is us.
Exactly. We're also narcissistic and whatever. Well, I'm not. Maybe you are? That's a shame.
I live on the west side of America, where they spin lies into fairy dust.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Did Hollywood lie to you? Are you mad at Disney? I'm afraid Adam Levine beat you to this one.
All those fairy tales are full of shit. Don't believe the narcissism when everyone projects and expects you to listen to them.
Wow, this dude's like a poet. Not everyone is manipulating you, you dork. They just actually don't think your songs are that good. And frankly, I don't really trust the sweeping character judgments of the guys who seem to think that girls taking selfies at a club is the peak of narcissism.
Make no mistake, I live in a prison. that I built myself, it is my religion.
That's deep, bro. Real deep. Shoot me in the fucking face. This guy is 29 years old. Who gave the selfie guys permission to think about stuff?
They say that I am the sick boy, easy to say when you don't take the risk, boy.
Now here's something you've probably been wondering. Why is this song called Sick Boy? I wondered too, and believe me, I checked. But all I could find were interviews where they said that social media is bad for teens, commentary so overdone that I'm not even gonna acknowledge it beyond this. No answers to the sick boy thing. My best guess is that a critic called them that once and they took it personally.
They say that I am the sick boy, easy to say when you don't take the risk, boy.
Yeah, I don't see you making music. Okay, well, you are, and it's bad, so what's your point? If I tell a chef he burnt my steak and he goes, well, I don't see you cooking, I'm not going to be returning to that restaurant. However, to be fair, whatever critic called these guys the sick boys was being really lazy that day. That's the best you got? Calling the Chainsmokers the sick boys? I can think of a million worse burns for the Chainsmokers. Here's a dozen right off the top of my head. But interestingly enough, they actually try to reclaim the term sick boy here. It's actually treated as both an insult and a compliment. It could mean cool, like, man, this beat is sick. But it also means sick in the head, like, wow, this guy's spewing total fucking nonsense. Is he okay? Oh, you are? You're the sick boy, huh? You're the sick boy? That's what you are? Are you sure? You sure you're the sick boy? Mr. Sick Boy, you certain? Oh, really? That's what they say? That's what they say? They call you the sick boy? They say that?
Don't believe the narcissism.
I can tell you right now, without a shred of doubt, this is the worst chorus ever written by anyone over the age of 20.
And I may not be Einstein, but I know dumb plus dumb equals you.
I can tell you right now, without a shred of doubt, Sick Boy has the second worst chorus ever written by anyone over the age of 20. I think the part of this song that makes it the hardest to listen to is that you can tell he's spelling it B-O-I in his head, like the SpongeBob hands meme. Well, you heard him. He's the sick boy. He's Mr. Sick Boy.
Welcome to the narcissism. We're united under our indifference.
You see, America is very bad, but not the Chainsmokers. They see through it all, and they know it's bad. 2003 Madonna had a better commentary on America than this.
I'd like to express my extreme point of view. I'm not a Christian and I'm not a Jew.
And I'm from the east side of America. We desensitized by hysteria.
Well, thank God we have the Chainsmokers to clear the air for us. Get it? Check out the genius annotation of this line. It's very telling. You can pause to read it if you want to. I'm certainly not going to do it. This definitely seems like a song that would appeal to the type of person who considers discussion about systemic racism to be an insensitive alternative to caring about individual victims, or whatever the fuck this guy's waffling about. Oh, hey, now we have a baker's dozen.
Feed yourself with my life's work. How many likes is my life worth? Feed yourself with my.
You know what? That line is too good to say just once. Say it again.
How many likes is my life worth?
Say it 2 more times.
How many likes is my life worth?
Say it really loud!
How many likes is my life worth?
Yeah, feel your pain, sick boy. Feel your pain.
They say that I am the sick boy.
This is some of the most inane garbage ever put to paper. If I was scrolling through some old journal from when I was 15 and I saw this written down in it, I would immediately rip the page out and burn it. Apparently these guys would record it and publish it. And you know what? I was gonna give these guys some credit and say this beat is alright. It's got weight and a little bit of energy. But after that full listen just now, no, this beat fucking sucks. It's way worse than I remember. Maybe it isn't that bad on its own. It's got potential. It's like a big block of wood. Sure, in the right hands, it could be a stool or a picture frame. These guys use it as the handle for a sledgehammer. Coupled with these lyrics, each synth hit feels like being bashed over the head. They named the album after this song. Their album is called Sick Boy. Sick Boy is the name of the album. It's called Sick Boy. Because they're the Sick Boys. That's what everyone calls them. I've never heard anyone call them that. I've certainly never called them that. But I will be exclusively calling them that now for the rest of my life. The Sick Boys. All We Know is my favorite Sick Boy song. You guys heard that new Sick Boy single? The album is called Sick Boy. Sick Boy by the Sick Boys. Their self-titled album. And they carry the same childish energy from this song throughout the entire rest of the album, too. There's a song on here called Everybody Hates Me. That's the title of the song. The Sick Boys were 29 years old when they recorded that. There's a song called Save Yourself. It's a dubstep song. Damn, Sick Boy's got abs. 29 years old. 29 years. There's a song on here called You Owe Me, which, if you haven't heard it, holy shit.
It gets dark inside my head. Check my pulse, and if I'm dead, you owe me.
If you haven't seen the music video yet, feel free to look away now. 29 years old, by the way. The Sick Boys were 29 years old. That's me being generous. Only the hot one was 29. The Jim Gaffigan-looking one was 34. This all happened. Unsurprisingly and fortunately, the Sick Boys never fully recovered from this blunder. They've yet to release a single which cracked the top 40 again after this, though that one abysmal slapdash thing they stole from the Kid Laroi came pretty close. And maybe that was the straw that finally broke the camel's back, because they've been releasing music to absolute radio silence after that. Check out this grid full of dashes on the 45. Still though, we let them have a career at all after this. After this! Why the fuck did we do that?
Everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, bro, messing with your head.
One of the more frustrating things about putting this list together is that not all bad songs are earnestly bad. There's this wonderful genre known as comedy music, filled to the brim with songs that are, quote, bad on purpose. We'll be seeing a lot of songs around here that are, quote, bad on purpose, and those, frustratingly, tend to require a bit of extra analysis. For example,
You a stupid how? You a stupid how? You a stupid how? You a stupid how?
Stupid Ho is an avant-garde masterpiece. Yes, I'm serious. When I was younger, I despised it, as I'm sure we all did. I mean, just listen to it. The song is horrible, it's an abomination, it's the worst thing ever recorded. But eventually I matured. I researched, I gained perspective, and I realized something. This isn't just a bad song on purpose. It's a bad song with a purpose. Ooh, you like what I did with the words there? This is a diss track to Lil' Kim, in response to a beef that Lil' Kim started because she got mad that her time in the spotlight was fading and she decided to take it out on the big up-and-coming female rapper taking her place because of something internalized misogyny, something society pitting women against each other, or something whatever. Nicki Minaj correctly identified that this was just goofy, like totally not worth taking seriously. So she said, you know what, I'm hot right now, you're not. I bet I don't even have to try to outsell you. I bet I could go out of my way to make a whack, stupid diss track and I'll still outsell you. You know what? Scratch that. I'll make the worst diss track that I possibly can. The most actively annoying and disjointed song that I could possibly make, and even that will outsell you. Whooping sirens, random yelling, fuck, she even dropped the hard R in an explicitly racist way for no reason. The worst song ever is All You Deserve, and it will still ship 12 times more copies than you. And then it did. And the resulting burn was so bad that Lil' Kim never even had a particulate of chart success ever again. You see? Bad on purpose, with a purpose. That's how you make the bad become funny, or thought-provoking, or in any way meaningful or useful. Now, what is the purpose of this?
If you got a sweet tooth, you can taste my watermelons. If the swing set bores you.
Get it? It's so bad. It's so bad, it's funny. Yeah, you can't really do so bad it's funny on purpose. It's like trying to recreate a candid photo. There's a naturalness to it, a certain gravity that cannot be recaptured. You're not laughing, you're just crinkling your face. And you're not presenting a disjointed yet endearing piece of media that you poured your heart and soul into that turned out so poorly that we just can't look away, but we're also laughing with you because your failure reminds us of parts of ourselves and our past that embarrass us, so we have compassion for your efforts. No, you're just saying stupid shit over a bad beat. People like to defend these kind of songs. Not this one in particular, obviously. Usually just whenever their favorite artist makes a song like this. They're not hard to defend. It's really easy to get all smug when someone says, hey, this is really annoying and it sounds like shit. Because, of course it's annoying and it sounds like shit. The artist already knows that. You're not saying anything new and you should just shut up because you don't get it. But you see, that's not the only thing I'm saying. The answer, it's bad on purpose, raises the question, okay, but why though? Being bad is not an actual purpose on its own, it's just an adjective. What else are you trying to accomplish? What does the badness say? What does it do? Yes, I'm playing 7-Eleven in the background here. Sorry, Beehive. But I'm not unreasonable. I can give 7-Eleven this. It was trying to make drunk girls dance. It succeeds. It's made with the goal of being just annoying enough in just the right way that it goes stupid hard when you're wasted out of your mind. I still hate it because frankly I can't stand being around drunk people, but at least there's something there. There's a real conversation to be had. You can defend that song if you want to. But can you defend this? How would you defend this? There is no state of mind in which this is pleasant or enjoyable to listen to. She made sure of that. I don't really want to point out individual bad lyrics or weird choices because that's what she wants me to do, but I have to, even if it's redundant. This song knowingly piles awful sound after awful sound. Shifty, gurgly synths, some dude breathing in your ear over and over, this weird slurping noise. And for what? Cringe comedy doesn't mean if you do something cringy on purpose, it's funny. There's gotta be an underlying funny joke. And I guess there is a joke to this song, but it's not a funny one.
If the world starts freezing, I can make it hot and humid.
So this is slut shaming, right? That's the joke? You made this song puke-inducing because sluts make you want to puke? You're acting annoying because you think that's what promiscuous women are like? You did this all to demonstrate your hatred for other women? Because that makes you seem terrible. That's just awful. That sucks. That's worse than being bad for no reason. That's bad for a bad reason. Something internalized misogyny, something pitting women against each other, something whatever. Are you sure I'm not missing anything? There must be some other purpose hidden deep within the lyrics or something, because if not, it's just a toxic and bitter idea for a song. Lucky for us, she actually explains the joke in detail during the bridge to confirm that, yeah, she really does hate sluts. That is indeed what the song is about. Yep, that's the joke. She can't stand all those scantily clad sex-having women. And fuck you for thinking for even a second that she actually wants to bang you like some slut would. But she does want to bang you, actually, she does. But she's not like those sluts who want to bang you. Maybe she's suddenly gone back to joking in the middle of the bridge while using the same voice that's already been established to represent a breaking character. No, I'm just going to assume she actually does want to bang you. So what's the problem with the other ladies in this town then? Is it their forwardness? Is it the way they dress? Who are you to judge exactly, Miss High and Mighty Skylar Grey? Or maybe you're jealous of all the easy attention they're getting? I mean, you do seem to really like this guy. Fascinating. So who is this guy who made you sell out all your principles and made you act like that? You already know it's Eminem. You read the title.
She's distracted by my reflectors. Man, I can tell this chick's attracted. My wheels spoke to her.
Hey, buddy. Why are you doing the encore voice in 2012? What's that about?
As big as Mick Jagger lips. Shagging's not something I'm a poet, but I ain't practicing shit.
Alan.
Man, I thought he stopped doing this career suicide shit in like 2007. This is painfully unfunny for all the same reasons that the rest is unfunny, with the major stipulation that this guy already should have learned this exact lesson.
A broad killer, I'm the cousin to Godzilla. Cause I spit fire and my dick's dragging.
Good one, buddy. Still better than his verses on Not Afraid.
Zigzagging up the avenue, pulling these chicks in my antagonist. Wagging, screaming.
Imagine going back in time to 2011 and telling people that Skylar Grey and Eminem would release a collab song 100 times worse than I Need a Doctor 2 years later. I think they would have just shot me in the head. Obviously, Eminem did fine after this because, well, after you convince the public to forgive you for Encore, the sky's the limit. Meanwhile, the Skylar Grey solo artist experiment was widely and correctly understood to be a failure by everyone except Skylar Grey. The only other songs of hers that managed to grace the charts at all were the other ones that had Eminem on them, but that hasn't stopped her from trying, to this day. Poor thing. To her credit, she did remain a relatively successful feature artist throughout the decade, most notably with appearances on Shot Me Down, a complete disaster that's probably David Guetta's 12th worst song, and Glorious, a Macklemore song in 2017. Wonder how much he charged for that one. The more surprising thing I learned looking through this is that she's the Holly Brook that did the chorus on Where'd You Go by Fort Minor.
Where'd you go?
How did she fumble the bag this badly, going from being the best part of a fantastic, heartfelt tearjerker to being the girl I keep mixing up with Christina Perri in my head? And honestly, saying that makes me feel worse for Christina Perri than it does for Skylar Grey. I guess that's another reason why making intentionally bad songs is a stupid idea. You might blow your only shot with them. Ride in peace, Skylar. Ride in peace.
Texting her all night. She know I was going wrong. She left me right on red. Now I'm walking with my head.
I first heard this song when I was 13. I knew it was dog shit immediately. Immediately. I was 13. I made a review of it when I was 13. It got hounded with dislikes and I got my very first death threat. Good times.
Chloe, I know your sister turns everyone on, but you're the one I want.
Okay, first of all, Emblem 3, that's not a band name. That's a gamer tag. I'm getting that out of the way right now because that is by far the least important thing about what we just heard. Alright, run that back real quick.
I know your sister
A questionable way to start a love song, that's for sure.
But you're the one I want.
The only girl I wanna be with on Valentine's Day is your sister.
The phrasing here is confounding, baffling. I am truly flabbergasted. She turns everyone on? She turns everyone on? Does she walk around in yoga pants and or booty shorts at all times? Or is she just extremely flirtatious? Is she one of those girls Skylar Grey was thinking about? And once again, everyone? I know there's a lot of bisexual women out there, I'm sure, but there's also a lot of straight women and gay men. I know I'm nitpicking, but can you blame me? The central conceit of the whole song is fucking this. And they clearly expect me to take it at face value. I gotta say, so far, least convincing love letter ever written. Putting the lyrics aside, and yes, I know that's a very big ask, can we appreciate this guy's voice for a second? This is truly some of the most strained, tortured vocal work I've ever heard.
See that, 'cause I'm attracted to your passion. Be yourself, forget the fashion. Just keep that smile, your fashion.
There's not just a frog in this guy's throat, there's a cane toad in there, slowly poisoning him. It's a miracle he survived this.
Believe in you, I do.
2013 was a big year for boy bands trying to recapture whatever One Direction found. Between JLS, The Wanted, Rixton, MKTO, I know Austin Hone's just one guy, but he totally counts. And I'm going to include the 1975 here too, just to make people mad. They had some bad songs, and by they I mostly mean JLS and Rixton, but none of them managed to make anything even half as clumsily written and miserably sung as the wonder trio that is Emblem 3. Except for Austin Home, but we'll get to that later. Everyone used to say One Direction is like 5 Justin Biebers. Emblem 3 is like 3 Asher Roths. And this shit makes Little Things sound like Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Oh, buddy. Oh, you poor soul. No one told you? Okay, Girl Code 101. If a girl you want to boink is complaining to you that she feels like she gets so much less attention than her sister, that she feels that her sister has it all, what you are supposed to say is, no, that's not true, baby. You have it all. She's not all that, and one day everyone will see how beautiful you really are. That's how you get to boink her. What you do not do is stammer out a half-hearted, well, I mean, yeah, she's got it all, but so? That doesn't mean you're worse. You usually don't get to boink her. Yeah, to you, you moron. Consider her emotions, why don't you? My dick is hard for you, baby. That should be enough. That's the other problem with the big central line. It's not just the absurdity of saying, I know your sister turns everyone on out loud, which is fucking insane, but also the painful inadequacy of closing it up with the pathetic, but you're the one I want. If you're gonna open up Pandora's box, you gotta shut it all the way back. Yes, Chloe, all your insecurities are true. Even I can see that your sister is way more sexually appealing than you are, and all my friends are horny for her and not you. But I want you, because you're more attainable. Please boink me. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, all the girls out there with extremely bangable sisters. All you Chloes, I want to see your hands in the air. Yeah, your sister's hotter than you are. Oh, fuck, dude, Jesus. Alright, that was fun. Are you ready for the big reveal? I'm sure some of you have already guessed it by now. This song is about Khloe Kardashian. That definitely clears some stuff up, especially the whole your sister turns everyone on bit, but it also makes it a million times worse. It's about a specific girl, which is horrifying, but it's even worse than that. He's not singing to a girl he knows, but desperately simping for a millionaire celebrity as if negging will win her over. Absolutely pathetic. Ungodly pathetic. He never did boink her in the end, and they never ended up getting another song to graze the Hot 100. They tried. They kept releasing singles for many, many years, none of which touched any charts at all, a story which is becoming very familiar by now. Although they were featured on a cheat code song in 2014. Oh wait, no, a song called Cheat Codes. Written by Jack and Jack?
Straight up, no questions, girl, you're the one that I want. All I really know is that you're coming across like just my type.
Oh, they're rapping. Is that one of the emblems or one of the Jacks? I can't tell.
Gonna make you feel blue like Boise, but right now me and you should just chill and enjoy these moments and make them last. I'm making them lane switch fast.
Dare I ask what else Jack and Jack have done?
Don't f me up, don't f me up, don't make me bad. Don't leave me
Why are they censoring themselves?
Don't leave me low, don't let me go. Don't f me up, don't
I swear I didn't edit that. That's just what the song sounds like.
don't me up, don't me up, don't make me bad.
You know what? I'm good. Yep, I'm tapping out. Tapping out. Sorry, guys. We got 14 more songs left. I'm not going down this rabbit hole. Maybe another day. Probably not. Don't look forward to that.
I gotta keep my head high. I got a whole nother check, not talking verified. Rest in peace, my dad.
You know, sometimes I wonder how a music historian would divide up the 2010s. What title they would give to each year, each big trend. Then I realized that no one can stop me from calling myself a music historian. So I consulted myself, and we came up with the following conclusions. 2010 and 2011 make up the club boom, 2012 and 2013 are the indie revolution, and after that we got tired, took a nap, and never got around to finishing the rest, but I'm pretty sure that 2014 was the year of the butts.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
My god, it was all people were talking about that year. Big old honkin' badonkadonks everywhere you turn. It all started with Wiggle. Jason Derulo asked us if we knew what to do with that big fat butt, and then Meghan Trainor said, yes I do.
But I can shake it like I'm supposed to do.
Like I'm supposed to do. Feminist anthem of the year, certainly. I remember when Meghan Trainor confidently declared that she was bringing Booty back, and then everyone was like, wait, when did Booty leave? Booty has been here since at least Sir Mix-a-Lot. And then Nicki Minaj brought Sir Mix-a-Lot back.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
Seemed like every music video that year had a big bouncing butt in it, to the point of gratuity, most times. Not to mention both of Jason Derulo's other hits were also basically butt songs.
Is it weird that your ass remind me of a Kanye West song? But your booty don't need explaining.
But we're not here to talk about the hits. This is a video about the almost hits, which is why I decided to dedicate number 14 to all the butt songs that couldn't quite make it in this very strange year. And we're starting with a really fun one. You guys want to hear a 45-year-old woman's attempt to go bad viral? Remember that time J-Lo tried to make a comeback in 2014? That was funny. I guess it helped that she brought Iggy Azalea along. Yeah, that Iggy Azalea was going places, future tense, in late 2014. Very good investment. She made a song with Pitbull too, she was clearly a genius. Wonder if she invested in Bitcoin in 2021. There's probably something more substantial to be said about Iggy Azalea and the big butt stuff, about how black women were constantly shamed by white society for their figure, but hey, now that big butts are in vogue, here's the very white Iggy Azalea jumping in and stealing the spotlight, and in this case, stealing the slang and the delivery too. I'll leave that to someone smarter than me. This song is bad because it sounds bad. Moving on.
When I saw her walking down the street.
I think this one counts as a butt song, but with a twist this time. See if you can catch it.
But she turned away as she walked. All that I could say was, yeah.
That's right, baby. This time the attention is unwanted. Hooray. You guys remember Austin Mahone, right? That new Bieber type who was tearing up the nation in 2013, who you might have heard on the radio once or twice? Well, this is his declaration to the world. It's 2014 now, and he just turned 18. He's got a libido, and he's ready to show it off. Specifically to random women on the street. Especially the ones who are actively avoiding him.
Tell me where you from, where you wanna go. Why she walk past me like I ain't say a word. Stood there like, man, good.
This one's really fucking sad, man. Because honestly, it sounds fantastic. It's energetic, it's bouncy, it's got some good chords. The production on this is almost identical to Traum by Crow, which, random fun fact, is one of my all-time favorite pop songs. I would like to just turn my brain off and jam to this. I would like to. Unfortunately, Austin is so casually upfront about being a weird, aggressive, cringe little pervert, and he's describing it in such great detail, delivering it like it's something to be proud of, that it's all I can possibly think about.
All that I could say was,
Some of you might recognize this chorus. The whole thing is ripped straight word for word from Live El Townsville.
As she walked, all that I could say was, yeah.
Weird choice to sample, even weirder choice to play it completely straight. And the verses don't help. Going into even further detail about the situation was not the move here.
We can do whatever we want.
I mean, I guess you can, but should you though? Should you?
Why she walk past me like I ain't say a word. Stood there like, man, girl, I don't usually feel some type of.
I don't have to explain this, right? We all know why this is not a legitimate way to flirt with women. approaching strangers in non-social situations with very obvious intentions, then continuing to bother them after they reject you. We all know why that's not cool, and we all understand why loudly moaning at a woman's ass in public while they run away from you is unhinged psychopath behavior.
All that I could say was,
That J-Lo song might sound worse than this one, but this is definitely the worst song. I vastly prefer, "Hey, I'm famous, please ogle my ass," over, "Hey, stranger, I'm gonna ogle your ass."
6-inch heels clicking up down the street.
Not sure why Bieber 1.0.1 thought he could pull off a catcalling anthem. Maybe Austin thought Bieber's whole 2013 douchebag phase was a necessary step on the path to pretty boy stardom that he had to follow, and not just Bieber being shitty for no reason. Bieber's asshole arc actually might have secretly been a genius way to expose his ripoffs, like how dictionaries throw in a few fake words to see who's just copying them. I'm surprised there's no videos of Austin peeing in a trash can, or riding a scooter drunk, or calling Malala Yousafzai a Mahoner.
Not much fun being me now, huh, Patrick?
Are you kidding? I used to do this way before I started copying you.
But at least it seemed natural when Bieber did it. Like, there was a progression to the events. He started out as the type of kid who would make your grandma say, "He seems like a nice young man." By 2013, he ended up at, "Promise me you'll stay away from that boy." But he didn't jump straight from one to the other. There was a whole 2012 period where he just got slightly edgier with each single and gradually started to become a, "Well, dearie, I'm not so sure about that one" type of guy. Austin went straight from endearingly insufferable to regular insufferable with 0 albums in between. Fake-ass motherfucker. I'm sure we can all see right through this. And for the love of God, dude, if you're gonna imitate assholes, at least imitate a player or something. Why are you imitating a pervert? Be the kind of asshole that people find themselves attracted to against their better judgment, not the kind of asshole they instinctively run away from. Does his delivery of the title noise sound unconvincing to anyone else? Like he's not even really sure what he's doing here? It sounds less like something you'd hear on a street and more like something you'd hear in a juice commercial. I don't have a clever way to finish a joke, just cut to...
All that I could say was,
This commercial's on his official channel, by the way. He was proud of this.
Introducing Aquafina Flavor Splash, a creative take on water.
Yeah, Austin Mahone had no business being on a song like this. You know who fits right in, though?
Yeah, she looks so good, but she bad. You can see
Hello, Dogman.
booty like crisscross. Jump.
Get their fucking names out of your mouth, you freak.
For those that thought that we would stop, definitely don't have a mind to think with. Brainless.
He said on Austin Mahone's last ever charting single, while also heading straight into his own last year of relevance. Speaking of years, hey Pitbull, it's 2014, Austin Mahone just turned 18, and you're 33. Are you talking about the same girl? Because either Austin's into MILFs or something is very wrong here. I've actually heard quite a few girls say that they used to experience street harassment all the time, but then they turned 18 and suddenly it stopped. And now I'm really upset. Weren't we talking about butts? Let's get back to talking about butts. Hey, Ice Cube, what the fuck are you doing here? Why'd you do this? I'm not the most informed on the 90s rap scene, but I'm pretty sure Ice Cube was widely respected and everyone loved him. Isn't It Was a Good Day considered to be one of the best rap songs of all time? Why would you do this with it?
No, cause I got me a drop top, and if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop, stop, drop, and pop it.
This is a shame, man. It's like watching Magnus Carlsen get checkmated in 8 moves.
No worries.
Who could have known Ice-T could do a full C-plot on the Get Schwifty episode of Rick and Morty and still come out of the decade as the more respectable Iceman in rap? But the star of the shit show is not Ice Cube. It's somehow not Redfoo, and it's definitely not 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is the one thing this song got right. Actually, the problem with this song is Bangladesh. No. Yes. The guy you're looking at right now is a good old friend of mine who goes by the producer name of Bangladesh. Weird name choice, possibly racist. He was born in Iowa. Anyways, he's responsible for producing a good chunk of your least favorite songs of all time. My running theory is that this dude is the worst producer on the planet. I haven't found a worse one yet, and this song is definitely not doing him any favors.
Public, hit her from the back, grabbing on her shoulders. Hair wave killer, hold on to get nervous.
This weird shit is not a flute. This is just what the man's songs sound like. Except for this part. I suspect Redfoo is responsible for that little build-up thing. It's kind of party rocky. Redfoo does have a producer credit on this, but only on the Horrible Music Wiki, and I'm not sure how reputable that is. Maybe he touched the computer when no one was looking? But nah, the rest, all Bangladesh.
Yeah, you remind me of my drop top. Titties out. Yeah.
To be fair to him, he is responsible for a few good songs, mainly with Lil Wayne. I'm not sure why, they just bring out the best in each other. 6 Foot 7 Foot is a certified banger, a solid 9 out of 10. A Milli is a classic, and it would just be unfair to him if I didn't mention that he made Lemonade by Gucci Mane. But, you guys seen the rest of these?
Up on the roof, tell your boyfriend not to be mad at me.
Remember that one Ludacris song from so many years ago with the beat that just sounded wrong? Like backwards? That was Bangladesh.
You make it so good, I don't wanna leave, but I gotta know what's your fantasy.
That was his first big single. It might not sound that bad to you guys, but that's just because he hadn't reached his full potential yet. 9 years later, he'd be in the big leagues, making the 2 worst songs on Sasha Fierce. Truly a couple of bangers. Headbangers. Against the wall. Repeatedly. He made the one song on Cannibal that's still completely unlistenable in hindsight. Bossy by Khalees, that's him, and it's a million times worse than you remember. Weirdly enough, I think even Bangladesh is ashamed of Drop Girl. He has an obnoxious producer tag that he usually features very prominently at the beginning of each of his songs, as if to say, yes, I exist and there's nothing you can do about it. But he doesn't do that on Drop Girl. It's just not there. I know for a fact he produced it. That ugly vocal loop thing in the background is absolutely classic Bangladesh, but it's weirdly hard to find evidence. I swear there used to be a Wikipedia page for Drop Girl where it listed him as a producer, but it's just gone now, the whole page. It just redirects you back to Ice Cube's discography page, as if to say, please, for the love of God, listen to any other Ice Cube song. All I've got to back me up is Bangladesh's Rate Your Music page, the Genius Lyrics Q&A thing, and a throwaway reference to the fact in a complex article. No other Bangladesh production discography features Drop Girl anywhere, including the Produced by Bangladesh playlist on Tidal, which is a great playlist to listen to if you want to die. The evidence is so scrappy that it honestly feels like residue from some kind of active attempt to memory hole the song. This suggests that everyone involved is deeply ashamed of being involved, and I can't say I blame them, but consider what that says about Drop Girl. The guy who made Break Up by Mario is ashamed of his involvement in Drop Girl. The guy who made Shitted on Him by Nicki Minaj is ashamed of Drop Girl. I'm having fun with this, so I'm just gonna keep going for a bit if that's alright with you. Ever heard Dope Peddler by 2 Chainz? Isn't that just the ugliest chorus you ever heard? Here's a personal favorite of mine. Remember Jessica Malboy? The one with the Get 'em girls? Probably the first ever time that the performer out-annoyinged the Bangladesh beat. Here's the one that makes me the saddest. Keep this one in mind for later. Like, way later. Later than you're thinking right now. Think sequel. Believe it or not, this guy is still making music. In a sane world, he'd have been run out of the country by now, not making songs for Alicia Keys. Yep, just keep throwing presets at the wall, bro. I'm sure one of them will stick. I'm sorry, I know I've been going on for a while, but the rabbit hole is just insane. Okay, one more. One more and I promise I'll stop for now. Basshead by the Far East Movement.
Girl, you're a basshead. Girl, you're a basshead. Girl, you're a basshead.
Never thought I'd say this, but God am I glad Like a G6 was the hit. Moving on now. These last 3 songs didn't come out in 2014, so I'm changing the numbers around a little bit so the joke still works. Don't worry about it.
Bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt, bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt.
Oh, Bubble Butt. The butt song to end all butt songs. Kinda wish it did end all butt songs. 2014 would have been better.
Bubble butt, bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt.
This one feels like a fucking adventure. I swear it's got a million different moving parts and they're all awful. Very clever of them to make a song called Bubble Butt that sounds like a bunch of bubbles popping. It's a nice play on words. Doesn't exactly make for a good sounding song, but that was clearly an afterthought, so.
Turn around, stick it out, show the world you got a bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt.
As it turns out, Bruno is not the type of guy who can pull off endearing cringe. No, it's just regular cringe with him. Every time I hear that little smirk leak into his voice as he burps out this inane garbage, I lose a chunk of my soul. I have no idea who this person is. In fact, I've gone out of my way to never find out. They have the most unsettling voice I think I've ever heard in a charting song. Well, except for Enrique Iglesias that one time, but we'll get to him later.
Open up your bubble gum, let me see your bumper. The booty.
Oh, hey, it's the guy who fucked a 17-year-old when he was 25. Not giving this guy more screen time than I absolutely need to. Let's move on.
Bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt,
DJ Snake and Major Lazer are both stored in a similar place in my mind. Maybe it's because they blew up at the same time, maybe it's because they made similar music, maybe it's because their most widely remembered hit is a crossover between the two, maybe it's just a coincidence. But it is interesting to go back and track my exposure to these guys.
I just won't play, let it.
When DJ Snake made his way into the pop world, the first hit of his that I came across that really stuck with me was a remix of You Know You Like It by Aluna George.
I don't take things as they come if they bring me down.
It was a masterful rework, it had a flawless build-up, and it was one of the first songs I'd ever heard that made good use of the pitch-shifting chopped-up vocal sample chorus thing. I was hearing so much chopped up stuff all over the place and never really got it until right then. It was almost a transcendent experience for me, listening to this song with my earbuds in for the first time, realizing, wait a minute, this whole type of music that I've been brushing off, it can actually be good. It can be really good. My god, this man is a genius and I've been a fool. This is an awakening of my soul. The first Major Lazer song I heard was Bubble Butt.
Bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt, bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt.
For a while, I associated DJ Snake and Major Lazer with the absolute extremities of quality of that tropical house trend. DJ Snake knew what he was doing, Major Lazer didn't. Simple as. That's what I thought for many, many months. Who'd have thought they'd eventually completely switch places in my mind? In the years that followed, Major Lazer would go on to make some top-tier tropical house. Ever heard of this one?
You made it tingle, baby. Light it up.
Dude, if this was a hit in 2016, it might have single-handedly saved that year. This is up there with Jealous by Chromeo and Juice by Lizzo as one of the best almost hits of the 2010s. Stay tuned for that video if I can think of some more examples. It took a full year and a half, but Major Lazer finally built up some goodwill in my mind. It was a big, big hole, but slowly and surely they crawled their way out of it, stepping all over DJ Snake in the process. Holy shit. Seriously, Mr. Snake hit a fucking wall real bad. His one trick wore off fast. Middle still has one of the worst drops I've ever heard. It's like a crying baby and his parents trying to comfort him. I guess it really hit me when I listened to Lean On for the first time. It's a masterpiece, but upon first listen I fucking hated it. I liked Major Lazer's contributions, it's got a nice beat. I could not stand the DJ Snake chorus. What are you doing, man? The choppy rhythm of that vocal thing you always do just doesn't fit on the swing of this beat. Try something else for the love of God. Major Lazer also definitely had the better Justin Bieber song, that's for sure. God, again with this fucking... He just kept doing that mangled and pitched shit with the same voice every single time. He kept trying to squeeze it where it didn't belong, and eventually I just lost interest. But in the end, I'd still take that chopped yelp over this any day.
Bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt, bubble butt.
Oh, Major Lazer. Definitely the roughest start to any fruitful career I've ever seen.
Turn around, stick it out, show the world you gotta
Bounce, 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 bounce.
See? I told you we'd get to it later. I find it extremely funny that this song dropped right around the time YouTube were starting getting demonetized en masse for including profanity in their videos. Poor old Philip DeFranco couldn't get any money from his PG-13 news show anymore. Meanwhile, Iggy dropped this virtually pornographic music video and lo and behold, ads. So many ads. I have nothing else to say about this song.
They can imitate you, but they can't duplicate you.
Oddly enough, this one sounds fine at first. The verses are alright, the lyrics are fine, his voice is okay, standard love song type stuff. It only becomes list-worthy on the chorus when it decides to become a butt song.
What you gonna do with that dessert? Do what, dee da, dee da, dee da. Do what, do da, dee da.
This is like the skibbity toilet version of itself.
Murder that, dance slow, dance slow. Murder.
I'm not sure if this song is widely revered by the dwindling population of Darwin fans, who I assume mostly live in Boston and think his name is Darwin. Honestly, I doubt anyone who heard his first almost hit Just Girly Things and liked it enough to stick around would be disappointed by this. He certainly did not make any new fans with this, though. And his current fans, well, 12-year-olds eventually turned 13, so thankfully this guy never got another hit song and ended up quitting in 2017. But what about Salento? He was there too, sure, why not? And that guy had potential. Watch Me wasn't good at all, but it was huge, you know? Top 5 hit, made 2 Billboard year-end lists. I tried to reach out to Salento for comments on this, you know, the standard stuff. Why he thought this would be a good song to hop onto, how he could have possibly thought it would blow up, why he thought this Furry Jason Thingamabob would work as a follow-up single to his first hit, which had much more of a camp counselor energy to it. But I couldn't reach him, because as it turns out, he is currently in jail for murdering his cousin. Whoops.
I am no hater, yeah, we in the same way, but only difference is that you do not own me. I could just tell by the way that you're driving it. I pull up in that car just like a stone.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to talk about DJ Mustard.
What's that on that beat? Oh.
2014 was the year of the Butts first and the year of DJ Mustard second. I remember when I and everyone I knew hated the guy. Apparently, he's an extremely talented producer, able to recreate a wide variety of genres. When I learned that in 2019, I was fucking shocked, because at that point, I only knew him from his 2012 to 2016 work, when it seemed like he was trying to recapture the magic of Laffy Taffy over and over.
Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. 10, 10, 10, 20s on your titties, bitch.
She still fanning when she see us. I'm a grade A nigga, use a C+.
Maybe it was wrong to call him lazy in retrospect, knowing what he's capable of. A more accurate word might be efficient. Calculated. No other man on earth has churned out so many songs using so few notes and so few presets. And in his defense, the songs are like, almost distinguishable from each other. It's like a master baker crafting 1,000 different pastries with just sugar, butter, flour, and apples. Only the apples are rotten and the sugar is actually salt. There's a reason DJ Mustard didn't start making good beats until 2018. Because until 2017, bad beats got the job done. He got good when the scene demanded it, but before then, why bother? His effortless garbage sold millions and got him his paycheck. It wasn't good, but damn it, it worked, and everyone knew it. Quick, simple, easy. That's how he got on the Rolex of so many famous artists. If you had a couple of spare verses laying around and you wanted a real quick beat with maybe a 1 in 5 chance of getting on the charts, Dijon was your guy. If you were lucky, you got 6 or 7 notes and a bit of sample work. If you were unlucky, you got this.
Tell them where I'm from. Finger on the pump, make the 6 straight jump from SoCal. Hollywood to the slums, chronic smoke.
Come on, man, really? Isn't this just Rack City again?
Got to New York like a net on a jet to London. To Brazil, to Quebec like the
Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch.
Yeah, remember Rack City? The one with the guy who would go on to fuck a 17-year-old when he was 25? The one with 3 notes and no real hook? The emptiest shit I've ever heard. Easily one of the 5 worst songs of 2012. Probably number 4 if I had to pin it down. A song so nice, he made it twice.
I need my money pronto. Get it in the morning like Alonzo.
Get in with the business, I'ma be there in a minute. I just booked a Paris ticket thinking Russia need a
There were 3 years between this and Rack City. You'd think he would have gotten noticeably better in that time, or at least learned a few new tricks or something. And he did. He actually did. I swear to God, he had a few songs that sounded half decent before this.
Don't tell him, you ain't need, don't tell him, don't tell him, you ain't even gotta tell him, don't tell him, don't tell him, you ain't.
I love to get on. I love to get on. When the drink get too strong.
See, there's stuff there. There's plenty of notes. They're actually catchy. So what happened? Why did he regress so far back?
slow down. Better represent when we come to your town.
I've listened to a fair amount of Bad Era DJ Mustard songs in my life. Way too many Bad Era DJ Mustard songs, more than any person should. I could have put several of his songs on here. Headband, Paranoid, or Nah, You and Your Friends, No Mediocre, Feeling Myself, Whole Lot of Lovin', That Last One's a Fucking Trip, Check It Out. But I went with this, because this is like the archetype of the bad DJ Mustard song. It's just 3 notes. 3 boring notes in 1 boring order. Even at his worst, DJ Mustard usually had a part 2 to the forever looping melody, a little variation.
Dollar sign. What's that on that beat? Oh.
See, those 2 measures have different endings.
Hey.
See? He doubled one of those notes. He made a melody out of it. The things I praise this man for.
Tell him where I'm at, from the plaques to the everything fat, got motored on a track, my girls all stacked.
But LA Love? Nope. Nothing. There's not even 2 different boring orders, not even 2 different boring rhythms. It's just the same combination of 3 notes, all spaced out in the same way, placed in the same spot, every single measure in every verse. It sounds like there's supposed to be a part 2, but he just couldn't be bothered to think of one. In fact, is this not just the first measure to Paranoid played over and over? Run that back real quick. Yeah, that's the same shit. Dude chopped one of his own melodies in half and repackaged it. Jesus Christ.
Every city, every state, every country you know. This is how it goes.
It's so empty. This is just as barren as Rack City, but at the very least, Tyga had the decency to be really boring on Rack City, instead of whatever this is.
Atlanta, North, South, Kekalak, Texas Grill, Cadillacs, through Miami, then back to London.
This is the worst Fergie's sounded on a song since Dirty Bit? She sounds bad a lot, it's hard to keep track. And yeah, as it turns out, she's still not a good rapper. And it's not like the world's strongest man could squeeze a few drops of talent out of Tyga, but goddamn, Fergie wishes she could bust out something as iconic as I Got Your Grandma on My Dick.
Manila till it's Christmas out to India. Visit Puerto Rico, is this wizard, bring my people back to Venice.
Are these bars? You call these bars? These are just the names of places. That's all this is.
Got to New York like a net on a jet to London, to Brazil, to Quebec.
Yeah, those are places, all right.
I just booked a Paris ticket thinking Russia need a visit.
That's also a place. Good job.
North, South, Kekalak, Texas Grill, Cadillacs, through Miami, then back to London, Jamaica, then France.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
Brooklyn sand, Hacienda sand, Vegas sand, Rio sand.
Tampa, Pittsburgh, Newark, Plano, Lincoln, Lubbock, Durham, Salem, Dayton, city.
Tokyo sand, don't understand, Miami sand.
Remember that time that she just sang the days of the week on the bridge to I Got a Feeling and we gave her a pass for that? Maybe we shouldn't have given her a pass for that.
Every city, every state, every country you know. This is how it goes.
Before you ask, the answer is no. Obviously, this song did not coincide with the 2014 Fergie World Tour. I mean, she had dozens of concerts in 2014, 2 in 2015, all of which were in the US, and most of them were in Miami. Her most recent LA performance was in 2010 at the Sunset Strip Music Festival, and Andy Grammer was there too, so I don't think that counts as a Fergie concert. So these lyrics are not only insipid, they are also lies. Unless this song is about her tours with the Black Eyed Peas, which I don't know why she would want to take credit for that.
Get in with the business, I'ma be there in a minute.
And it's not just the lyrics, her energy on this song is insufferable. She delivers every line like she's terrified that you'll stop paying attention to her if she's too normal for even a second. But I don't know if it's even really her fault. Maybe it's the beat letting her down. She keeps doing all these quirky little flips and tricks and shit. Meanwhile, the beat's just going da-na-na, da-na-na. Maybe she knows the beat is underperforming, so she's trying to compensate by overperforming. Unfortunately, now it's got the same vibe as a comedian bombing on stage to a dead silent audience.
Texas Grill, Cadillacs, through Miami, then back to London.
Hey guys, you ever eat cheese? Cheese is a funny thing. Cheese is a strange thing. I always wonder, like, what is cheese? Where does it go?
Fergie had another almost hit in 2016. It was called MILF Money.
You got that, you got that, you got that milk money. I got that, I got that, I got that MILF money.
I know some of you remember this, and I bet everyone who remembers it expected it to be here. But no, I kind of like it. For the exact opposite reason that I despise LA Love. The beat is at 100 the whole time. It's annoying, sure, but it's productively annoying. It matches Fergie's energy perfectly. It's got so much confidence in itself that it's honestly contagious. I respect that. I respect MILF Money.
Welcome to the Dairy Duchess Love Factory.
It's also got, honest to God, one of the best bridges ever recorded.
I've been wearing this up, I've been tipping this cup, I've been waiting my turn, I've been working so hard, got my spirit turned up, and I can't stop now. I've been running so long, I've been fighting so strong. I want it, I need it, I got it, for real, I love it, real woman, I feed you this meal. Hey mama, I did it, the top of the hill, been a minute, don't forget it, motherfucker, I'm ill.
Sorry about that, I just wanted to take a break from LA Love for a second. At least there's like a little bit of a pickup in the chorus, a few little blips here and there to complement her vocal melody, some pianos in the background. Wait a minute, that bass line, those are just the same 3 notes again, you just slowed them down!
Finger on the pump, make the 6 straight jump from Brooklyn sand, Hacienda sand.
Dude, at the very least, put the 3 notes in a different order or something. Come on, man, what are we paying you for?
Vegas sand.
Ha! Get it? La's in singing, but also La's in LA. It's a clever little double entendre almost. Even when she's not just naming places, she's still just naming places. Hope this doesn't get too annoying. And it's already too annoying. Great. Please stop. Please stop. You know what? Fuck this. Oh shit, can I go back? Why does this keep happening with these guys? Yep, it's the AJR entry. Are you guys ready? I'm not, but don't worry, they are. They sampled SpongeBob. They're one of the biggest acts currently working, and this is how they got started. By making a song about how they're totally gonna bang this chick that samples SpongeBob. 3 goofballs popped up out of nowhere with a SpongeBob sex song, and what did we do? We gave them a steady stream of charting singles for the next decade and bought 1 million copies of their albums. Why is America like this?
I'm ready.
Now, it's not inherently wrong to reference the Bob. I've already done it once in this video. I'm gonna be doing it again. But what is the joke supposed to be here? Man, I'm so ready to put the moves on this chick. It's just like when SpongeBob is ready to go to work at the Krusty Krab. It's nonsense. It doesn't help that the beat sounds like amateur dog shit with no direction, and their only contribution to the chorus is a weird howl. They understand the bit they're using, right? The whole I'm ready thing is annoying. It's supposed to be annoying. Even Patrick knows it's annoying.
Oh, that's nothing. You should see him in the morning, prancing around yelling, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. He drives all the neighbors crazy.
That's why SpongeBob stopped doing it after season 4. It wasn't that good of a running joke, and it just stopped being funny after a while. One of the only positive post-movie changes they made, but I'll say that for a different video. Do they understand that they're being annoying right now? Are they being annoying intentionally? Haven't we already gone over this? Is there an actual purpose here? Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like they're actually playing it completely straight. Please, let's pause for a second. Take a moment to think about the people in your life whose entire sense of humor revolves around being intentionally annoying. Do you like those people? Think about the more recent SpongeBob episodes, like season 5 to now, where his only personality trait is that he's annoying. Do you watch the new SpongeBob episodes? I've already done a lot of talking today. Do I need to keep saying stuff about why this song is bad? Why this song is spectacularly, insanely, infamously bad? About how SpongeBob is a nonsensical vehicle to express the idea that you're ready to get laid? Why this Team 10 style Nickelodeon commercial buffer shit doesn't work as an actual song you're supposed to listen to for 3 minutes straight? Do you want to hear me go into meticulous detail about that? I would rather wrap up my recording session today, go get a haircut as a continuity break gag in reference to the original Worst Hits video, and I'm sure you guys would rather grab a snack or something since it's been... Good fucking God, I'm so sorry. I'm almost done with this, I promise. I know half of you guys aren't woke on AJR yet, and you're listening to this, and you're probably thinking this is the worst song they've ever made. It's gotta be, right? It's a fair assumption. If this were any other band on the planet, it would be their worst song. But AJR? This isn't even the worst song on the album.
Thirsty, thirsty Thursday. Yodeling, 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 yodeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Really take it in.
Yodeling, 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 yodeling.
You know what? I've got time. This is also number 12.
Yodeling, 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 yodeling.
Didn't chart at all, but fuck it, it's number 12. Its badness transcends vague criteria. The one way in which these guys are actually boundary breaking. If there's one nice thing I can say about AJR, it's that it really warms my little heart just how much people hate them. The natural human response to hearing these guys in their default state is to react with disgust. The entire comment section of this song right here, Thirsty, is full of stuff like, who let them cook? This song is fire, put it out. This goes hard, to listen to. And my personal favorite, listen to the haters. And they really should have listened to the haters. Because their next album was not better.
Way up, way up, way up to the moon.
I mean, they were young. It's been 3 years. They matured, right? Nope.
Way up, way up, way up to the sky. When everybody here is singing and getting high. Way up, way up.
I mean, at least it's not worse.
Boy, it's good to know I got a bud like you.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Enough, enough. There's no one here that we know.
Seriously, what is going on with these guys? This goes way past the point of experimental, because experiments fail, and the point is that when they fail, you're supposed to learn from them. That's steps 5 through 7 of the scientific method. They just keep hitting that limit of how wacky they can be before it's impossible to stomach. They hit it over and over, and they never actually recognize it. They just keep hammering in all of their ideas, finding space for them on every album, especially the ones that are batshit insane and would never work. I think I've reverse engineered the source of this. Here's a flowchart I made to demonstrate the normal person's creative process. Step 1, come up with an idea. Step 2, vet the idea. If it's bad, return to step 1. Then step 3, make the project. Step 4, vet the project. If it's bad, return step 3 and make changes. Now here's AJR's creative process. As we can see, step 4 is overwritten by a step I call full send. But more importantly, step 2 has been replaced with a step that I call sure bro. It goes something like this. Let's make a song with SpongeBob on it. Sure bro. Let's do a yodel breakdown. Sure bro. Let's make a pirate jig with trumpet fireworks. Sure, bro. Was their next album any better? What do you think? Wow. I'm just gonna... Actually, you know what? Let me just future-proof this. There we go. There we go.
Coming to my birthday party. I'm 1 minute old today.
I learned so many things when making this video. So many very cool things. And this is the one I'm most excited to share with you guys. May it haunt you as it has haunted me. Let's make a Theater Kid remix of Stressed Out from the perspective of a baby, featuring vocals from the aliens from Toy Story. Sure, bro.
Today, and everything is going great. Thank you.
They just keep doing this shit, man. This is kind of stuff that normal bands would make to signal that they're being held hostage. They're a family band, right? So maybe it's a genetic thing. Their mother and father share some recessive trait. All their kids were tragically born without self-awareness. Regardless, their baffling inability to say the words, I don't know about that one, has not built up a good reputation for them. Despite their fame and baffling success, their older, lesser-known songs seem to keep going bad viral. I have a feeling Birthday Party is next. Even Bang got some of that treatment. I don't use TikTok, but I've been told a good chunk of the TikToks that had Bang were explicitly about how much the song sucks. Random teenagers on TikTok hate AJR. And they like almost anything, especially if it's obnoxious. If those guys hate them, I don't know who their core audience is, and I don't want to know. But whoever they are, they're dwindling. Like I said about Darwin, 12-year-olds eventually turn 13. None of the singles from the most recent album charted anywhere, which feels a little bit too good to be true. I vaguely remember some song in there is about a violin threatening to be a hit late 2022 because it went viral a solid year and a half after its initial release. Time is no longer linear on the charts thanks to the power of TikTok. Songs from however many years ago will always have another chance to hit it big, which gives AJR a terrifying amount of power and basically makes their entire discography a powder keg. So really, I'm not sure what the future holds in store for the hat twink, the male model, and the 13-year-old boy-looking one. Nothing optimally, but one can really only hope. Happy birthday, everyone.
Yeah, I can tell this life will be a cinch. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, came a long way, came from the hallway. I can't stop, keep going. Yes, my life just feel like one long day. I just live in the moment.
Hey, you know who else hasn't had a big hit song in a while? Enrique Iglesias. That's weird, right? Am I the only one who finds that weird? For the past 7 years, the American Billboard Hot 100 has been loaded with Spanish crossover hits. And nowadays, there's so many of them I don't even think they count as crossover hits anymore. It was just reggaeton and Cardi B for a while, but then in 2020 we started getting regular pop songs that just happened to be mostly or entirely in Spanish. Telepatia, Todo de Ti, countless hits from Carol and Becky G. Then in 2023 we had fucking Eslabon Armando, Grupo Frontera, and Peso Pluma all in the top 10 at the same time for no discernible reason. So where the fuck is Enrique Iglesias? You know, one of the best-selling Latin artists of all time.
I can be your hero, baby.
You'd think the Hispanic hitmaker of the 2000s would be raking it in right now, or at the very least getting a modest amount of success and claiming a slice of the pie. But no, the man is currently working on part 2 of his last album, after releasing part 1 to complete radio silence. He hasn't had a big hit song since Bailando. His last song to even graze the American charts was El Baño from 2018. And he's been putting out singles pretty consistently, it just so happens that none of them had any chart success for the past several years. What the hell happened? Well, that's a dumb question. We all know what happened. Pitbull happened.
Enrique Iglesias. Pitbull.
Honestly, sometime around 2010, I think Enrique's brain just broke. Something in there snapped or came undone or melted or whatever. And Pitbull was definitely the catalyst. I don't think for a second Enrique would have made the infamous Tonight I'm Fucking You if it weren't for the little Pitbull on his shoulder. Because Enrique was not in the market of making disgusting sounding songs. That was all Pitbull. See? It fits right in. Maybe he could have made it out alive if he got out early. Maybe jumped ship after everyone got sick of Pitbull by 2015 and the platinum records dried up. But this motherfucker was in it for the long haul. Remember this?
I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You've been messing around.
In 2016, after the miserable reception of the dogshit album Dale, which flopped horribly, Pitbull said to his good friend Enrique Iglesias, "Hey man, I'm gonna make a pop song that sounds like shit and butchers the hell out of REO Speedwagon. Can you sing the chorus for me?" And Enrique said, "Si."
I've been messing around. I've been messing around.
Maybe it was out of some sense of obligation. Maybe he had some leftover feelings of camaraderie from when these two were the only two big Spanish guys. Maybe because his brain had melted or snapped or undone itself to the point where he actually thought this sounded good. Who knows?
I like that. The way you whisper in my ear, how you want it when you want it, girl. I like that. Let's go, baby. Let's ride. Let's not talk about it. Let's do it.
But believe it or not, messing around is not on this list. Because it's not the worst thing Enrique has ever made. No, the worst thing he made all on his own.
Give me some of that.
I mean, not entirely on his own. He got some help at being awful from the Cataracts. You may recognize them as the go-to production team for acts like the Far East Movement and the New Boys. I didn't even know it was possible for these guys to make their absolute worst beat at this point in time, but here it is.
I know you can go all night.
This song right here, alongside some tracks for, oh, Robin Thicke, how about that? Were the last thing this group ever made before vanishing into thin air, presumably out of shame. You guys remember that one SpongeBob episode where the band recorded Patrick's song for $5 or whatever? Wonder if that's what happened here.
Come on, guys. We're gonna do this if it kills us. And a 1, and a 2, and a...
Give me some of that.
This is one of the creepiest fucking songs I've ever heard. And a guy this hot has to really try to be creepy. Seriously, he's like a 9.5. He must be. Any less and no one would have ever given a pass for Tonight I'm Fucking You or Escape. But this just crosses some deep psychological line, man. And it's not what he says, but the way he says it.
Girl, just let me touch you. I know what's been on your mind. Give me some of that.
The way his voice dips down to a growl in tandem with the horrifying synths, it's like they're drilling directly into my amygdala every 2 seconds. The creepy whispers that punctuate every bar, each one hitting the ear at a different angle as if he's slowly surrounding you. I think this was trying to sound like a zooming car, but it ended up sounding like the wind howling through the window of a haunted house.
Girl, you got the bum bum. Take a shot, you want one. Mama, I can change your life.
This is not a good setting for Enrique Iglesias to be talking about how good this girl's bum is or how he can change her life.
You got that something.
No, you cannot have my something. Leave me the fuck alone.
So keep it moving. You know I love it.
This is something else, man. It's like it comes from some alternate dimension where emotions are the opposite of what they are here. Enrique may be a creep show on this, but you really gotta hand it to the Cataracts. This beat is doing a solid amount of work at making everyone very uncomfortable. This is a lot less fun night out and a lot more car commercial from hell. A lot less ladies' night and a lot more skeezy bar women instinctively know to avoid. This sounds nothing like a party. This sounds like what getting groped in a gas station bathroom probably feels like. Girl Scouts trying to sell you cookies would sound creepy as hell over this beat. But I mean, Enrique still chose the beat. He could have said no. If his brain weren't snapped or melted or undone, he probably would have said no. But he didn't. He said si. And here we are. You know what? Maybe we're better off just leaving this guy in the past. Stick him in the same hole where we keep Ricky Martin. Also stream Bad Bunny.
Give me some of that.
Oh my god, my hair, where'd it go? That's so weird. Okay, you guys have been good. You've sat with me through some of the worst shit you'll ever hear for the past... My god, am I seeing that right? That says an hour and a half, doesn't it? You are soldiers, and I think it's time we all take a little break. Let's take a look at our number 21s, the songs that couldn't quite make it onto the actual list. Maybe they weren't bad enough, maybe they weren't big enough, maybe I couldn't think of enough shit to say about them, or maybe there just wasn't enough room. Mostly that last one. Strap in, guys, there's a lot of these. Remember that time Madonna desperately tried to make a comeback in 2012? Hey guys, remember me? It's me, Madonna. Come on, you used to love me. You used to love me, remember? Remember? You used to love me? Can you love me again, please? Please, pretty please? L-U-V, Madonna, Y-O-U, you wanna? Those cheerleading chants play through both verses. It's like they're trying to hypnotize you. Come on! Please love me! Please? Pretty please? Come on, you know you want to, right? Right? Madonna performed this song at the Super Bowl. It only charted for 6 weeks. This song is so pathetic in both concept and reception that it almost makes me respect the ambition of Bitch I'm Madonna. Hey, remember that time Madonna desperately tried to make a comeback in 2015? Honestly, this one was actually a lot less desperate. Also a lot less successful. No top 10 peak for this one, that's for sure. But the song itself is way better. If you are Madonna, then Bitch I Am Literally Madonna, You Know You Want Me is a way better sales pitch than Please Love Me Again, guys. Come on, please clap. Actually, watching this video again, this might be just as desperate as the other one. It's got like 20 celebrity cameos in the music video, several of which they couldn't manage to actually get on set, including the one who has a whole guest verse. Nicki might have a bad habit of not actually showing up on set to songs she's featured on, but they usually try to hide that fact with some sneaky editing rather than lampshading it by, I shit you not, holding up a green piece of cardboard. Yeah.
I'm froze up on my stove up 'cause he eating like this is dinner.
Still though, I gotta say, this beat kinda hits. Real wacky stuff. I dig it. Maybe the world just wasn't ready for Bitch I'm Madonna. It does not sound like a 2015 song, but in this brave new world where Unholy can hit the top 10, Bitch I'm Madonna could at least ride the top 40 for a while. On the flip side, the world was well past ready for Give Me All Your Lovin' way before it happened. It doesn't help that it's just a horribly constructed song. Just a pain to listen to. Every part of the beat is trying way too hard. Christ, those synths are working overtime. And the producers really wanted this to be a hit, so they got 2 guest verses to give it a double boost, but they also really needed the song to be 90% Madonna, so they tried to squeeze both guest verses into the space of one.
Give me all your love, boy. You could be my boy, you could be my boy toy. In the nick of time, I can say a second rhyme.
Oh, look at that. Nicki actually showed up for this one. But she might as well have just stayed home if Madonna was just going to interrupt her halfway through anyways to do some dubstep shit. Seriously, what is this? It's already kind of weird to have 2 guest verses on a song that's supposed to be all about you. It's even weirder to shove yourself in between them haphazardly. Does she think we're goldfish? That we'll just forget about her if she's quiet for 3 seconds? Because that would explain why MAA got so shortchanged. This is 10 seconds long. Literally 10 seconds. I'm playing the whole thing right now.
I'ma say this once, yeah, I didn't give a shit.
And neither did anyone else. Except for Redfoo. Remember that guy?
Work it, own it. Give me your love, devote it. Oh.
Don't play the stupid.
Bad things happen when Redfoo touches computers, man.
All the things I know right now, if I only knew back then.
Oh shit, it's David Guetta. Long time no see, dude. What have you been up to?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Really? More of that shit? I guess it pays the bills. I bet you thought you'd see more of David Guetta on here after I basically condemned him to hell in the other video. I listened to a bunch more of his stuff while researching for this, and I'm yet to find anything good per se. Most of it is like a 2 or 3 out of 10. Pretty awful, but not awful enough for this particular video. This is the one exception. It's like a 0.5. But weirdly enough, it's not David Guetta's fault. Guetta, Fergie, and especially Chris Willis all do a really good job until right about...
Hey, I can't forget you, baby.
God damn it, who let Redfoo touch the fucking computer again?
Masquerade the pain, that's why I'm next to the booth.
Redfoo is to 2010s pop music what syphilis was to 18th century Europe. I don't think that metaphor requires any further explanation. Let's move on now. I'm still not entirely sure I should have put Sick Boy at 17 over this. Too late now. Hey guys, if you happen to still be a fan of Katy Perry in 2023, this would be a really good time to go grab a snack. Maybe take a quick bathroom break. Actually, don't make it quick. Take a while.
When the fire's at my feet again.
Every year after 2014 was just a tragic time to be Katy Perry. I mean, I can't imagine 2014 was great either. Having to pretend to like Dark Horse every time you perform it must drain the soul. So I guess it makes sense that this song is completely soulless.
This is no mistake, no accident.
This song was made for the 2016 Olympics. It charted for a grand total of 9 weeks. That's 2 months. The Olympics are about 1 month long. Make of that what you will. This song was outlasted by Swish Swish. Oh, speaking of Swish Swish.
Swish, swish, bish. Another one in the basket.
I gotta hand it to Katy for this one. She really one-upped Nicki Minaj here. Not her verse, obviously. Nicki blew her out of the water in that regard. I mean, she one-upped Stupid Ho. She really went and made the new worst diss track ever recorded, and she wasn't even trying.
Your game is tired. You should retire. You're bad as cute as an old coupon expired.
Oh, I'm sure Taylor's still rubbing aloe vera on those burns. Also, if I were making a list of the top 20 worst music videos of the 2010s, this would be number one, no fucking question. And no, I will not be making that video. You can if you want to. Send me a link when you do, I'll watch it. I'll leave a comment too. Might even subscribe. But I won't click the bell.
I wanna see you peacock, cock, cock. You peacock, cock. You peacock, cock, cock.
You know, I never actually listened to this song in full until about 2 years ago. For the longest time, I'd only heard the chorus in that one Buckley video, assumed that it was indeed as bad as it sounded, and stored it away in the back of my mind alongside all the other songs, which would eventually end up on this list. But then I listened to it while I was making the script for this, and I kinda liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick.
I want my heart throbbing, ground shaking, shoes stopping, amazing.
It doesn't sound too bad, the verses are pretty catchy, and I guess I found the idea of someone like Katy Perry having to bully a guy into letting her play with his dick goofy enough to let the obnoxiousness of the chorus slide. But then I did some research and I found out she actually has been accused of acting like that to multiple male actors while filming her music videos. And now I'm very uncomfortable.
Are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Don't be a chicken boy, step acting like a biatch.
Her whole non-stance on the Dr. Luke situation kind of makes more sense now, doesn't it? I mean, if she really wanted to get political in a way that actually made a difference, that was a golden opportunity right there that would have been a million times more effective than whatever the fuck this was.
Yeah, we think we're free. Drink, this one's on me.
This song is fine. It doesn't really belong here. I just wanted to bring it up because I want to apologize to it. A lot of people, including me, said that this song was kind of stupid because it was a song about how happy, peppy dance music is brainwashing the masses, but it was released in 2017, the year of trap and sad boys. What dance music could she possibly have been talking about? That's What I Like by Bruno Mars? Her own music, right? Her old stuff from 2010? That makes the most sense, and that is the prevailing theory. But I have a different theory.
Dance, dance, dance to the distortion.
The distortion, huh? In 2017?
Bitch, you was your mess, ayy.
Change of the Rhythm by Katy Perry is about Look at Me by X. You cannot change my mind.
All your insecurities.
Yep, more Katy. Just one gripe this time, but it's a big one. How do you do it? How do you say the word unconditionally dozens of times in a song and get the pronunciation wrong every single time?
Unconditional. Unconditionally. I will love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. If you can't make the word fit, rework the melody or pick a different word. What are you, train? Sipping on rosé, Silver Lake sun coming up all lazy.
This is starting to feel mean. Don't worry, guys. This is the last Katy Perry song. It's also the worst one by far. Good God.
It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Actually, I kind of feel like I'm forgetting something. Wasn't there another Katy Perry song that kind of belonged on here? Something from Witness that charted for 2 weeks and had like a rap verse on it or something? What was it called? What was that? I'm just making stuff up.
This is how we do, yeah. Chillin' laid back, straight starting, yeah, we do it like that. This is how we do.
I know this is a lot of Katy Perry in a row, but God, she really earned it. No other artist managed to so suddenly become both this bad and this unsuccessful at the same time. This would be so ungodly disappointing, but it dropped right after the Balloon Boob song, so my expectations were, like, medium.
Santa Barbara chic, Atlas Super Rica, grabbing tacos, checking out hotties.
This is the most intense college dropout energy a song has ever had. It's like bro country for soccer moms. Forget what I said about Khalid a couple years ago. This shit is why people hate millennials. I don't know exactly what she was going for, but the whole millionaire trying to get in good with the paradoxically cool losers thing is just awful. It's not hip to be square cash, Katy. That didn't make any sense. Why did I say that? Actually, better question. Why did Katy say this?
Now we're talking astrology, getting our nails did all Japanesey. Day drinking at the wild.
I'm a white man living in the Southland.
Man, remember when this was like scandalous? Maybe I've just gone numb or something, but after the Charlottesville rallies, a bunch of psychos storming the Capitol, and Jason Aldean sending a lynching anthem straight to #1, a guy with a Confederate flag shirt in a coffee shop being confronted by an overly apologetic black guy is just...
If you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag. If you don't judge my gold chain, I'll forget the iron chain.
I mean, I just... Okay, you know how when you watch porn for a few years, seeing a woman in a bikini just does nothing for you anymore?
Now witness the brutal cruelties of reality.
Don't look, Charlie.
Is this really supposed to be? I mean, I've seen way worse stuff than this on the internet.
The song is still awful, but if it came out today, I honestly doubt anyone would even notice. This song is annoying as fuck and Matt Healy is racist, don't at me.
Telling all your friends how much you hate me. But who you calling up when you get...
You know, when I made the original Worst Hits of the 2010s video, I said I felt bad for Liam Payne, the fail son of One Direction. And I did. I still kinda do. But after hearing this garbage, it's less of a pity that he flopped and more of a relief. If you ever wonder what it would have sounded like if Justin Timberlake decided to abandon the pop country ship on Man of the Woods and instead grab onto the sunken wreckage of Tropical House, here you go.
You said it was over. You said it was over. But your clothes say different on my bedroom floor. You said it was over.
If this got any radio play in 2018, I probably would end up in a car crash of my own making. He performed this song live on Ellen.
But your clothes say different on my bedroom floor.
I wonder what she saw in this anthem to gaslighting if the rest of America just didn't see.
I've been working and getting by, but that ain't enough to satisfy.
This song didn't touch the American charts at all, but I had to shove it in here anyways, because good fucking god, this guy's delusional.
So if you wanna stack it up, man, you gotta work for it. Ain't nobody gonna be doing it for you.
Yeah, guys, if you want to stack up them racks like Liam Payne, then you gotta put in the hard work like Liam Payne. You know, the guy who was randomly shot into fame by Simon Cowell because he looked vaguely like Justin Bieber and was just barely good enough to be a singer in a supergroup that never harmonizes, coasted along by being the second most handsome and fourth most talented, then got Ed Sheeran to do most of the work on his only solo hit.
I wanna flex hard like DOE, but right now my car need the MOT, and I can't give the value no TIP.
Oh yeah, that's real smart. Spelling the words out like that at the end of each line. That probably made it a lot easier because half of the letters rhyme with each other. TIE, VIP, BIG. Yeah, it probably saved you a lot of EFFORT, didn't it?
Stack it up, man, you gotta work for it.
Also, for the record, if you're gonna brag about how hard you work, don't do it over this beat, which sounds exactly like Same Old Love. It's the same fucking song. It's the same old song, you could say.
Stack it up, man, you gotta work for it.
I'm so sick of that same old love. My body's had enough. That's on me on my mind.
He's lucky this one didn't catch on. He probably would have gotten sued.
Who's got a penis? Bitch got a penis. Who's got a penis?
Yeah, this one definitely does not qualify. I'm just putting it here because I have to talk about it to someone. This song, called Transphobic Techno, Bitch Got a Penis, was released in 2011. This makes it possibly the first ever recorded use of the term transphobic in non-explicitly LGBT media. This fact keeps me up at night sometimes.
I see you in the club showing catch a loving.
Oh, buddy. I know I said some bad things about Sleazy a little while ago, but at least that one has character. This is the worst Kesha song by a fucking mile. And it's not even her fault.
I'm buzzing off these bubbles. I sipping in our guzzle.
Thank you so much, Mr. William. You're right. The beat to Like a G6 did just need a little bit of reworking.
Got hard that I'm gonna smuggle some rosé Chandon.
That drippin', that drop out. Now give me 2 more bottles, cause you know it don't.
I mean, William is a better producer than the Cataracts, but not by much.
I'm the new that says Mazel Tov.
Yes, you did say that. You also said this.
Shitting on y'all with the boom, boom.
And this.
I'ma go hard like a motherfucking boner.
And this.
Kissing while we talking, so I'm speaking with a mumble.
That's not even mumbling, that's babbling. Learn your onomatopoeias, you dork. You absolute buffoon. William was just an absolute disaster this decade. Not only is he responsible for the worst Kesha song, but he's also responsible for killing Mick Jagger's comeback before it even happened. I don't know exactly how many of you guys were conscious of the music scene at the time when will.i.am dropped this ugly garbage disposal nonsense shit which suddenly exploded into a car commercial synth rock type beat at the 3-minute mark, and holy shit, it's Mick Jagger! Where did he come from? I remember that guy! I was just barely conscious enough of the music scene at the time to know for a fact that no one gave a shit. One of the biggest names in the music industry, and will.i.am managed to make the song so thoroughly unlistenable that it barely cracked the top 40 and didn't even last 2 months on the charts despite having Mick fucking Jagger on it. It was the perfect time for a Mick Jagger resurgence. His name was getting dropped all over the place. The biggest hit song of 2010 referred to him as a sex god. Maroon 5 famously bragged about dancing like him, or maybe fucking like him, not sure which, maybe both. All because his name happened to rhyme with swagger, the big slang word of the day. Suddenly, everyone was thinking about Mick Jagger again. And what did he do with that? Oh, William, you fucking ruin everything. He probably could have gotten a few legacy hits off this if he played his cards right. Instead, he decided, first and foremost, to attach his name to this ugly bullshit song that's called The Hardest Ever and has not one, but 2 dick jokes in it.
I'ma go hard like a motherfucking boner. Hard like moaning, wood in the morning.
I can't believe will.i.am would do this, man. He killed the Mick Jagger comeback. If it weren't for this, Mick would have had so much more time to pour into his passion project mega group Super Heavy. Imagine how much great music we could have gotten out of that. Actually, maybe this was for the best.
You can go harder, you can go home. You can go harder, you can go home.
To borrow a joke from the AJR comment section, this really is the hardest ever to listen to. Oh hey, it's the worst song of 2019. According to the me of 4 years ago, and a few of my more impressionable fans. I always love seeing this song pop up on the occasional worst songs of 2019 list online. It's like a little watermark, like, hey, that one's a fan, that's cool. Do I still hate it? Yes, quite a bit. But it's not the worst Sick Boy song, and it's definitely not the worst Beverex's song. That would be this.
No broken hearts in the club, no tears in the club, 'cause we gon' get it poppin' tonight.
I'm sorry, one sec. Nope, still sounds the same. Oh yeah, I guess this really is the worst double tracking I've ever heard. You can't just layer the same bad vocals over each other twice a fraction of a second apart. Layering doesn't magically make bad things sound good. But it does not sound better when she tries to harmonize with it, so what do I know? This is the most dreadful, ugly club song to hit the radio since We Can't Stop. If you're gonna make a song about dancing away a broken heart, you gotta make it sound at least a little bit uplifting. Give it a pulse. But this is shrill and plodding and just plain ugly. With those awful fake trumpets and some of the sloppiest, most piercing percussion work you'll ever hear in your life. It's about 20% too slow and 50% too loud. All bitter and no sweet. A bowl of nails without any milk. What are all those people in the video dancing to? Sure as hell isn't this. And apparently Nicki Minaj is here too. You know, it's weird. Nicki showed up a lot here in the number 21 segment, but I swear it's not her fault. For what it's worth, she's easily the best part of all these songs. I blame her manager. As for this verse specifically, honestly I can't tell you whether or not it's good, because it's got a weird glitch. I've never been able to get past the first line without the video blacking out on me.
Anybody hating need pee-pee.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but every time I put on the song, it just cuts off right there.
Pull up on your bitch, tell your man I'm sorry. Honey on my wrist, jumping out the Rory.
This is one of those rare cases where the Chris Brown song is atrocious and it's barely Chris Brown's fault. Now, this time the credit goes to A1, or ISM, or Young Berg, whichever one of those three decided to put this weird flat note at the end of every measure.
She straight out of college, just turned 22. Girl, get your money up, I ain't even mad at you.
It's not on key. They're not stupid, they know it's not on key. And they played it anyways. Every single measure ends with this off-kilter sour note. Every single one. It makes me twitchy. It's like Chinese water torture slowly chipping away at my sanity. It's just wrong. I want to fix it. Yeah, I understand music is subjective and notes cannot literally be wrong. Music theory certainly exists, and it exists for a reason, but it's not entirely rigid and prescriptive. It's okay to have fun and bend the rules sometimes. Some rule bends sound good enough and are used often enough that they get names like the Bacardi Third. You can break the rules if you want, but you need a reason to break the rule. Mr. A1, however, did not have a good reason. He just thought it sounded cool. And he was wrong about that. There were 3 Chris Brown songs on my worst hits of the 2010s list, and if this song right here peaked just a little bit higher than it did, there would have been 4 Chris Brown songs on that list. Ditto, but make it 5. This is the most pathetic non-apology I've ever heard. It's been a decade, buddy, and I'm still waiting on the beautiful. Go Crazy was alright. Was that supposed to be the beautiful? Gotta say, not worth it. And make it 6. Holy fucking shit, dude. Holy fucking shit ass, dick ass, titties ass, bitch ass, fuck. This is easily, without a doubt, the second most irritating beat I've ever heard from this guy. Don't look up trumpet lights.
Why is it all so complicated? Maybe this should be simple.
Am I crazy, or is every part of this beat an octave too high? Everything sounds all twinkly and poppy. Chris Brown is at the top of his range the whole time, and even the bass sounds like it was written in the treble clef. It's like the TikTok remix of itself. I can barely stand 10 seconds of this. I'm also not entirely sure what this song's about, but it's like 60-40 odds that it's erectile dysfunction. Ha! Yeah, don't worry about that, man. Happens to the best of us. I actually know a guy who can get you some little blue pills for that if you need them. I don't need them, I just know the guy. He gives me antibiotics, okay?
The Polly, yo come Polly, he wanna fuck a bad dolly and pop Molly.
This is yet another song on here that is a Nicki Minaj guest verse, and it's really good. Kinda saves the song a little bit. It's the only reason Love More avoided the actual list. And trust me, this one was a close call. I know these are all number 21, but consider this the real number 21.
Dancing on the hood in the middle of the woods of an old Mustang, where we...
This song is almost listenable, kinda. Don't really hate it, just have one gripe with it. Pretty big one, actually.
Oops, I got 99 problems singing bye bye bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time.
None of those songs are from 2002. Not a single one. There were 5. How did you miss all 5 shots? And don't fucking tell me, oh, well, they were all still being played on the radio in 2002, right? Well, 99 Problems came out in 2003. Is she a fucking time traveler? This song has 1 billion streams on Spotify. What the fuck are we doing?
Wasted. And the more I drink, the more I think.
Something you might notice is that there are no Maroon 5 songs on this list. There's none so far, and spoilers I guess, none to come. The more you think about it, the less surprising that really is. They're so weirdly successful that most of their worst songs were actual hits, especially Maps, which is their worst song, I don't care what you say. I mean, I guess maybe Feelings could count?
Does he know that there's nobody quite like you?
I don't know, I kinda like Feelings. It's got a good kick to it. Really, my only problem with it is the one high note. And yes, that is certainly a flaw. But what if I told you I managed to find a song that has an even worse high note than the one in Feelings? One that lasts the whole goddamn chorus. I'm sorry, I know that was loud. I can't help it. Whenever I hear this song, it just makes me a little bit, you know? I'm putting this song on here mainly as a tribute to Maroon 5. In fact, I'm pretty sure the song itself was made as a tribute to Maroon 5. It is awful in all the ways the worst Maroon 5 songs are awful. It sounds like the exact same song that I would make if I was doing a very mean-spirited Maroon 5 parody. Kim here manages to perfectly capture not just Adam Levine's screeching falsetto, but also the second thing that makes Maroon 5 such a gutterball disaster: their dumbfounding lack of subtlety and craftsmanship. Dude. Hey girl I just met, take your clothes off, because I want to see your breasts and ejaculate on them. Yeah, my friends call me the Rizzler.
It's just another Friday night, then I saw you, it was...
I showed this song to a few of my friends before I started writing this segment. A buddy of mine named David told me to make a very specific edit, so I did. And here it is. Enjoy.
A million people in the place, and there you are. And I was like, Howie, wowie.
Baby wants mommy. Make it dirty.
I'm not exactly sure why multiple artists who peaked in the 2000s tried to use Iggy Azalea of all people to re-jumpstart their careers. No idea what they saw in her, though I am very glad it failed both times. I ended up cutting this one from the actual list because odds are Britney was coerced into doing this by abusive people in her life. Iggy Azalea, on the other hand, should feel really, really embarrassed about this. Oh, speaking of embarrassing.
I told them I'd be singing on TV. The other kids were calling me a wannabe.
Remember Lucas Graham? I remember Lucas Graham, and I will always remember their failed follow-up hit to 7 years, as much as I would love to forget.
Mama said that it was quite alright. Our kind of people had a bed for the night, and it was okay.
I would have put Strip No More on here at, like, number 17, but it only ever charted in Denmark, and it hit number 1 over there, so it feels like it'd be stretching the definition of almost hit in both directions. This, on the other hand, a bona fide worldwide almost smash that I heard on the radio like 3 times.
And Daddy told us never listen to the ones the nasty fingers and making fun.
I understand why he got that choir of kids to sing the chorus. I don't like it, but I understand it. It was a desperate bid to tug at some heartstrings, and doggone it, Annie, it almost worked. What I don't understand is the last chorus.
My mama said that it was okay. My mama said that it was quite
So what the fuck is he doing?
people had a bed for the night, and it was okay.
Listen to me! Listen how much better I am at singing than these kids!
Daddy told us never listen to the ones.
On the topic of awful singers, Camila Cabello jump scare. Welcome back to the main list, everyone. I am so sorry. Does anyone else remember this? Because I swear to God I heard it on the radio all the time, but I've never seen anyone mention it. Is it like a T-Rex thing? You guys think that if we don't acknowledge it, it won't hurt us? Well, fuck that, it's already hurting me. And it sounds like it's hurting her, too. I mean, you're hearing this shit, right? This was the big solo act from Fifth Horizon? Are we sure about that? Can we try again? I'm not exactly sure why Camila got to be the breakout star from Fifth Hambone. Normani is a way better performer. Shame she only really got 2 big hit singles and she had to share both of them. Meanwhile, Camila Cabello had 8 hits, as well as a dozen almost hits, one of which was this! This is Camila Cabello's worst song, and it's not even particularly close. This shit makes Never Be the Same sound like I Will Always Love You. If your washing machine made this sound, you would replace it immediately. If your son made this sound, you would consult a priest. Camila, I swear I don't know what I did to you in a past life to deserve this, but I'm sorry, okay? Haven't you punished me enough? How long must I bleed for my sins? I got a couple of comments on that original Worst Hits video baffled that I didn't mention or play the nicotine, heroin, morphine bit in my extensive in-depth entry to Never Be the Same. I skipped that part for 2 reasons. 1, everyone and their mom had already torn that line to shreds. I was years too late. 2, as a common courtesy, I wanted to spare you guys from the worst of it. Really, you should be thanking me. Unfortunately, this song is like 4 straight minutes of nicotine, heroin, morphine, so I will not be extending such courtesies here. I told you that you could click away. Not my fault you didn't listen.
Tell me something, but say it with your hands low.
Every single line ends with an extended note, most of which are high notes, and they all have just barely enough autotune around the edges to make it sound uncanny while also not fixing the problem at all. She spends almost half of this song in as high a register as she can possibly manage. The breaks are scant and short.
Like a choir singing hallelujah.
Alright guys, we're going to take full advantage of this mercifully quiet pre-chorus. Let's all close our eyes for a second, take a deep breath. Alright, here we go. I'm never ready for it. I think I am, but I'm never ready. Her experience in Fifth Hamburger clearly gave her a bit of an ego, and if you disagree, I can point you to at least 30 Camila Cabello cringe compilations that prove otherwise. Seriously, there's so many of these. With fans like these, I almost feel completely redundant when I say stuff like, Camila, your actual range is 1,000,000 times smaller than your self-perceived range. Camila, if you can't hit the notes without sacrificing all clarity and diction, just don't try to hit the notes. No one will judge you if you just push the mix down a few keys. Everyone does it. This is AJR levels of no self-awareness. Did she listen to this when it was done and say, yeah, this is great, I'm proud of this? No need to even mention the production because it's barely the most pressing issue here, but Jesus Christ, it's a mess. It can't really decide if it wants to be in 4/4 or 6/8, so it just does both, which is an interesting choice that becomes a problem because the part that's in 6/8 is a weird, wet, sloppy clapping noise. It's got this bizarre little harumph trombone thing stolen straight from Talk Dirty.
I'm that flight that you get on, international.
Like a choir singing hallelujah, hallelujah.
And god damn it, guys, you have a lyric repeated over and over in the song alluding to a choir singing hallelujah. You gotta give me that choir. Where's the choir? All I hear is some leaky balloon squeaking about a choir. No, no, no! Stop this! God, get someone else to do the fucking backing vocals. Jesus Christ. I don't need to hear Camila Cabello sounding constipated in 2 different registers at once.
Hands can shake me, soft to lips, touch they break me home.
I think I've made my case. If you disagree, please don't let me know. I don't want to think about this fucking song ever again. Please don't make me do that.
Coming out just when the sun down. My boys, they ruthless like hoops and they really run.
You ever heard a song so bad you form a deep fascination with it?
Wasn't looking for trouble, but it came looking for me.
I heard this song right when it came out. A friend showed it to me like, wow, this sounds like shit. And I was like, yeah, it does. It really does. And ever since then, at least once a year, I revisit it. And I'm just as confused and captivated every single time. I think to myself, it can't possibly be as bad as I remember it, right? But it always is. It's worse even.
I see a pretty girl, I wanna make her mine.
What the fuck is this fucking stupid fucking shit, and how did it get through so many filters and focus group tests? It's so awful. It's bafflingly awful. And yet here it is. It almost hit #1 in the UK. The world is not just.
Girls, I just can't say no. Never see him coming, I just watch them go.
Say hello to Connor Maynard, everyone. Before he made this mess you're listening to right now, he was primarily known as a YouTube cover artist. You already know where this is going. The UK tried to pull a Justin Bieber. They took a YouTube famous teenager who clearly needed a few more months in the uterus and thrust him into the real music world way too early. But for some reason he skipped right to Bieber's weird 2013, which, don't worry, I will be covering soon.
One day when the sky is...
I don't want to be too mean to this kid, so let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that, yeah, these piano covers might be kind of awkward, but they're also pretty good. He can sing, he can play piano, that's 2 things I can't do. Props to him. Here's the viral piano cover of Marvin's Room by Drake that broke him through.
I say fuck that new guy that you think you found.
Nice save, buddy. I like looking back at these videos. They're relics of a much simpler time, when it was okay to be a little wacky. Just a silly little guy. There were way fewer edgelords running around calling everything cringe. So I'm not going to call this video Connor made in early 2012 promoting his new upcoming single Cringe, even though that's what it is.
What's up, everyone? That was really boring. Let me do it again. Hey, kids! That was probably the weirdest thing I've ever done.
Oh, this poor guy. Doesn't even seem to realize he's being tossed haphazardly into a system that does not give a shit about him or his well-being or the sanctity of his image.
You stare, I think we got a problem. That was totally wicked!
But no, I hope you enjoyed it, guys.
You know what? Run that back.
You stare, I think we got a problem. That was totally wicked!
But no, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. There will actually be an...
I think the tonal whiplash we all just experienced, seeing the hooded up Beats by Dre douchebag grunting about bad bitches cutting straight to the soy-facing goofball in flannel really says it all.
She's got my engine started. This happens every time.
The label clearly wanted Connor to be a Justin Timberlake type here, and oh boy, if there was ever a square block in the round hole situation. They don't seem to realize that most of what made Justin Timberlake sexy in the 2000s was his ironclad partnership with Timbaland, a man who always made undeniably sexy beats. For the sake of argument, we will pretend that Maneater and AO Technology and Carry Out and Say Something were just collective fever dreams. But even still, Can't Say No's got nothing on Carry Out, because at least Carry Out had 7 or 8 notes instead of just 1.
Never see him coming, I just watch them.
What the fuck is this shit? Sounds like a broken lawnmower. There's no substance, no melody, no fun rhythm, just a grind. Nothing but a grind. Grinding and grinding on that same 1 note over and over again the entire time. It doesn't make for a good song. If I wanted to hear something grind over and over again, I'd stand in a deli.
Meet them at the party. Meet
them in the street. Get me in so.
It's like he was sharpening a knife, just kept sharpening that knife until the entire blade was filed off, and then kept sharpening the air in front of the blade until his arm fell off too. I could keep using metaphors, I could use a million metaphors, but it would never convey just how truly, stunningly awful this beat is. It sounds like someone took a normal beat and desaturated it, removing all the color, all the depth. It's a beat so unfathomably devoid of energy and spirit that even Adele would sound cold and empty on it.
Sorry you had to see that.
It's so insufferable that I find it deeply intriguing. What happened? How exactly could someone make this beat and think, yeah, that sounds right? How could someone listen to this beat and think, yeah, this is ready, this is done? What happened here? Who's to blame for this? Well, I'll tell you. This song was produced by The Invisible Men, with a little extra help from The Arcade. I find it very funny that two production teams worked on this. I imagine there was once a moment in the booth where The Invisible Men played an awful, disjointed beat very similar to the final product, then The Arcade heard it, nodded, and said, it needs a few small changes. I checked out more of The Invisible Men's discography, and I know I'm cherry-picking here, but they also made Do It Like a Dude by Jessie J. I guess they just love shoving squares into round holes, because Jessie J is no Ciara and or Ozzy Osbourne, and once again, Conor Maynard is no Justin Timberlake. He seems more like a Jesse McCartney type, initially presenting as a harmless, pretty soft boy who loves you for your soul, but give him 3 years and he inevitably reveals himself to be the Class A douchebag womanizer you kinda already suspected he was deep down. I'm sure all the Conor Maynard fans who knew him primarily for his cover songs on YouTube were shocked when they heard this. Or maybe they just nodded along because they were all 12 years old and there was no way they could have possibly realized that the cute YouTube piano boy was singing a pump and dump anthem.
Never see him coming, I just watch them go. Girls, 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 I just can't say no.
I have no idea which bigwig record execs thought this very young cover artist was ready right away for a song that requires way more confidence than he could realistically back up. Then again, I don't even really know if confidence would have saved this. There's some real creeper lines on here that even Enrique couldn't have pulled off. And Conor Maynard, he's got nice hair, certainly, but he's no Enrique.
Some girls are naughty, some girls are sweet.
I feel like society has finally learned the hard way, because I don't hear much of it after Blurred Lines happened, but saying risky, flirtatious things over tense beats makes those risky, flirtatious things sound flat out all the way creepy every single time. Dude, not cool. Dude, not cool.
Should I go for him? I'm like Houston, I think we got a problem.
Huh? Oh man. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I know a guy. He doesn't just sell Viagra, okay? I get antibiotics from him. They're cheaper than the pharmacy. Stop looking at me like that.
Girls, 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 I just can't say no. Never see him coming, I just watch them go.
Real classy, buddy. This is the worst attempt at whatever this is that I've ever heard. And clearly no one learned their lesson, because his next single was Vegas Girl, and I swear to God it's the exact same song. It's the same song! Check out all the famous women I know. I know so many famous women. Madonna, Hillary Clinton, Oprah, Marie Antoinette. At least this one had the decency to have a real chorus for 2 seconds, but that's hardly a concession. Other than that, exact same fucking song. Why would they make the same song twice? Why would they make this song twice? What are they trying to prove? That they can just do anything they want? Oh, dude, no, don't actually try to sing. It's not that kind of song. I don't understand why they wanted to turn this boy into a shitty man. It doesn't fit. In his YouTube videos, he always came off as a real genuine, down-to-earth guy, because that's what all YouTubers are trying very hard to seem like all the time. Except me, fuck you. It's weird. My gut is telling me that I should feel bad for this guy, because it seems like his big shot at international success was sabotaged by a shitbag production team with stupid ideas who just kept throwing him on songs that sound like they're drowning in motor oil. But I don't really feel bad. He had 5 top 10 hits in the UK, that's way more than most people get. He did fine. And he's actually still making music to this day. Say it with me now, none of which has touched any chart in the past several years. Then again, a lot of them are covers, which don't chart anymore anyways. Usually.
I don't wanna know if you're playing me.
Who knows? Maybe the tides are changing. Maybe we'll start hearing Conor Maynard's cover of You Broke Me First on the radio. Maybe.
Wish it don't go your way, you needed me to fix it, yeah. And like me, I did.
Actually, taking a closer look at this grid here, I think I see a 3? Holy shit, this guy got a number 3 hit in the Netherlands? With Shaggy? Well, I can't not listen to this. Okay, one sec. Let me just like that, and there we go. All right, cool. I'm ready to talk about someone else now. How about you?
Paper cuts from $100 bills covered in bust downs. Counting with my thumb now. Money make me numb.
So you remember how will.i.am killed the Mick Jagger comeback before it even started? Would you believe me if I said he also killed the career of a promising up-and-comer before it even started? Probably more than once, but once that I know of. Before I play this next song, I just want to let you know, Cody Wise got a start on Broadway. He was a Broadway kid. Then he signed to Interscope Records, and William turned him into this.
Uh-oh. New Urvasi. Uh-oh.
Okay, right off the bat, that first few seconds there, that was wildly fucking off-key. Like, not even close. Is that going to be a problem throughout the whole song? I'll spoil this one for you guys. Yes, it will. Dude, William, no. That's just disrespectful, man. And dreadfully irritating, also. Good God.
It's my birthday, I'ma spend my money. It's my birthday, I'ma spend my money.
I feel like it's almost condescending for me to talk about why this beat doesn't work. You guys are smart. You know why singing about birthdays over a beat that sounds like this doesn't make sense. In no world is this tense, ugly synth stomp an acceptable celebration of the anniversary of anything, birth or otherwise.
We can burn up, set this place on fire. Ooh, it's hot, ooh, it's hot.
It's the single least celebratory sounding birthday song I've heard since Birthday Song by 2 Chainz. And the entire joke of Birthday Song by 2 Chainz is that it's mainly about where to bury him when he dies. Which is a really funny joke, at least I'd say so, mainly because 2 Chainz has the charisma to pull it off. Charisma will.i.am never bothered to try to have. I mean, is this supposed to be a dark joke of some kind? Is that why it sounds the way it sounds? I don't think there's any jokes in the song itself, well, except for this one.
I can speak in Japanese. Kawaii, kawaii.
My sincerest apologies to the audience. This is not the last time you'll be hearing that word today.
Come with me, girl, let's go party.
I'ma give the dollar.
But on the other hand, the music video is full of jokes. It's very evidently trying to capture a silly, casual vibe, and that's why it's all bafflingly recorded in vertical mode. It's got these goofy little scenes, twerking ladies eating pizza, some lady giving birth to William's head, the fart lit on fire. Nah, sorry, I see right through this. It's a really manipulative video. It's trying your hardest to trick you into not realizing that the song itself is extremely dark and punishing in tone and vibe. Every fake horn feels like a punch to the gut, and the melody is insufferably annoying. It does not warrant funny claymation cake or wacky dollar bill toilet roll. If you really wanted this song to actually be quirky or charming, you would have put it in the lyrics. But you didn't do that, did you? Instead, you put nothing in the lyrics. These lyrics are fucking nothing.
I'ma spend the dollar.
I'ma spend my money. I'ma go spend some dollars.
Dollar, money. Did Mr. Krabs write this? Is this really what birthdays are about? Money?
I'ma give the dollar.
I'ma spend the dollar.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. I got you money. Hooray! Now I have even more money!
Holla at ya.
I don't know if it's reasonable to call this will.i.am's worst song, considering just the sheer amount of awful songs he's made, but I'm trying to think of a worse one and nothing comes to mind. What do you got? Dirty Bit? That's Child's Play. Bang Bang? Not even close. Check It Out? That one's a contender. But I think I gotta give it to this shit. This right here. William's worst song. I'm calling it. If you can find a worse one, please leave a comment so I can update this accordingly. Although be careful what you post, because if you type his name out with the dots, it creates a blue link to his fucking website, and I don't want that shit in my comment section.
I'ma give the dollar. Get it over here and get it over there.
I don't want to judge Cody Wise too hard. Most of this song is William's fault. The beat is all his fault. The off-key melody, all him. The weird effects on Cody's voice, that's all him. Any other bad lyrics, probably also him. I know Cody probably deeply regrets every awful decision that led him to William's doorstep, and I know it can't be easy to sound good over a beat this miserable. But god damn it if this bridge isn't the second worst vocal performance I've heard in years.
I'ma go spend some dollars. Go and scream and holler. Put my hands in the air. Party like I don't care.
This song hit #1 in the UK. I truly do not understand those people.
I don't really care 'cause I'm done. I don't really love.
Oh, and speaking of birthdays.
Jazz it up.
I mean, I gotta hand it to her. Unlike William and Cody Wise, it certainly sounds like she's having fun here.
How do you do? Come and meet the queen.
I'm not sure if I've ever said this on my channel before, but I am on the autism spectrum. You might have been able to tell because of my dry sense of humor, my low monotone voice, and the fact that I've been hyper-focusing on the Billboard charts for the past decade. I have a few other pretty common traits too. For example, it takes a lot of extra effort to follow conversations unless they're in a few specific topics I have an interest in. I'm extra sensitive to criticism, which is very ironic. Sometimes I do this, and I'm very prone to audio overstimulation. Like concerts. I never go to concerts. Or the school cafeteria, which was unbearable for me when I was younger. And oh yeah, also songs that sound like this. This is one of the worst combinations of sounds I've ever heard. It's like someone scanned my ears like that one episode of Jimmy Neutron with the specific intention of designing the most unpleasant sound possible for me personally. This song sounds like it wants to kill me. Why is there so much shit going on? Why are all of Selena Gomez's vocals being undercut by some loop of people clapping in reverse? Why does the beat keep rising and rising and rising? To what avail? Why are there police sirens everywhere? Why is there also moaning? How is that a good combination? Why does Selena Gomez love dentistral synths so much?
Blow your dreams, blow your dreams, blow your dreams away with me. Blow your dreams, blow your dreams, blow your dreams away with me.
It's hard to analyze this song from any remotely objective standpoint, just because of how extremely uncomfortable it makes me feel. I don't like parties, surprise, surprise, not because I'm asocial, far from it. They're just always way too loud. Everyone else seems to love that feeling of their eardrums crackling and their entire bodies being shaken by loud noise, and this song sounds like it was designed specifically to emulate that feeling while being played at a normal volume, which is wildly disturbing to me.
It's my birthday, they don't know, so it's okay. Tell them that it's my birthday.
Even if you like parties, do you like these kinds of parties? Because this has got the vibes of the loudest, craziest, most absolutely out-of-hand party you've ever been to, right as it's about to be shut down by the cops. Does this monstrous amalgamation of awful sounds not make your fight or flight instinct kick in? Do you not feel the need to make a break for it? I certainly do. I have no energy left for this, so I'm just going to finish the segment off by reading positive reviews of the song interlaced with clips from it. Is that okay with you? From old-time music, the song Birthday by Selena Gomez is a catchy and upbeat track that showcases her versatile vocals and natural talent.
Falling into you, falling into me.
From entertainment-wise, the song isn't what you'd expect from Selena, but the genre suits her well.
Jazz it up.
From the Los Angeles Times, the song is almost as good as having shorts in every color. Pop Dust gave this a 4.5 out of 5, declaring it super fun and catchy, later going on to say Birthday is the weirdest and greatest thing Selena's ever done.
There's no emotion on my face cause I'm not. You see me everywhere you look, no you can't hide a...
So you guys remember what I just said about overstimulation? I know some people who love this song. I know a lot of people who love this song a lot. I just...
Come tonight, so we can roll around, have a pillow fight like a major OMFJ.
Not real, it can't hurt me, it's not real, it can't hurt me, it's not real, it can't hurt me, it's not...
Party like a fat kid on a pack of Smarties. Someone chuck a cupcake at me.
Noise-canceling headphones. Best purchase I ever made. Alright, I'm ready if you are.
Just between you and me.
So now we're really getting into it, huh? This is the first song on the list I honestly believe was made to win a bet that she could write the worst song of all time. It will not be the last. Number 3 and 2 specifically are also definitely bet on the worst songs. I'm not sure how many of you guys are in the know about the Melissa conspiracy theory. A bunch of Avrils fans noticed a change in her personality so big that they're all pretty sure she died and got replaced with some girl named Melissa sometime around 2003. No, I'm not one to believe conspiracy theories unless they involve the CIA in any way, but one listen to Hello Kitty is all I needed to immediately fully be on board with this one. This is not the complicated girl. This is not the I'm with you girl. This is some random blonde weirdo named Melissa. This is yet another force so bad it's good situation, and once again I have to ask, why the fuck are you doing this? What does this add to the world? What are you trying to say? Because all this is saying to me is that I need to fucking run.
Now remind me of your influences here. I'm gonna say Thelonious Monk and the sound a trash compactor makes when you crawl inside it.
Now, I'm hardly the first person to call this song an atrocity. People have always called this an atrocity. But do you remember when people called this racist? They said she was appropriating Japanese culture. They said that a lot. And apparently they were wrong. I've done a tad bit of research on this song, because a tad bit is all I could bring myself to do. Apparently, most of the Japanese people who've heard this don't find it insulting. A lot of people like it over there. So I guess it's not racist. But you know what? I can't blame those journalists for thinking that it was racist. Listen to it. When you make something that interpolates Japanese culture and also happens to sound extremely childishly awful, can you really be surprised when it sounds racist to people? If a racist person, the most racist person in the world, made this song, it would sound exactly the fucking same. I've heard plenty of J-pop. This Sonic shitpost does not sound like J-pop. It sounds like a deeply ignorant and mean-spirited mockery of J-pop. Listen to that fucking intro again, man. If this song were made today, it would go like this. I wish journalists had a bit more creative freedom, because this song doesn't actually need to be problematic to be bad. How bad this is should be enough for a story on its own. Avril Lavigne releases worst song of all time, local 23-year-old male reduced to tears. Killer headline. You should be able to write that story. A story about how the new Avril Lavigne song is constructed entirely out of unprecedentedly irritating noises and ideas, performed with all the elegance of an alarm clock. It's got this weird dissonant chord at the bottom of the mix that goes forever unresolved. It just keeps blaring out those 3 awful notes on those scratchy blown out guitars. And it's got some abysmal dubstep elements on it about 2.5 years too late. It sounds as horrible as a song can possibly sound. Also, Avril, come on. It's 2014, you're 30. What the fuck are you doing? There's a certain time in everyone's life, an inflection point you could say, where it's as close as it will ever be to socially acceptable to weeb out, and that time was 11 years ago, 10 years at least. But believe it or not, I wish there were more weeb shit in here. Why not make the whole song entirely in broken Japanese? Because the English lyrics that aren't just the word meow...
Meow.
Hold up, let me just...
Meow.
As I was saying... Okay, one more. As I was saying, all the English lyrics that aren't just the word meow make me extremely uncomfortable. They all strike the most unsettling possible combination of childish and male-gazy, and I hate them all. This includes, but is not limited to, Major Rager OMFG, like a fat kid on a pack of Smarties, roll around in our underwear how every silly kitty should be, come kitty kitty, you're so silly silly. If I read any more of these lyrics out loud, I will get an aneurysm. Even if I just look at these lines, my eyes start to hurt. It's like they're trying to push their way out of my skull so they don't have to look at these anymore. Here's a fun fact to close this off. This song was co-written by Chad Kroeger. How the hell did we wind up like this?
Yeah, everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head. I said.
Don't worry, everyone, I'm done taking these goof-off sessions way too seriously. They are some of the worst goof-off sessions ever recorded, mind you. But I'm self-aware enough to understand that it's not normal to let them get so very on my nerves. It's just the kind of person I am. I obsess sometimes. But I know that if you went back in time to 2014 and asked Avril Lavigne or Selena Gomez something to the effect of, what the hell were you thinking when you made this garbage, they'd probably respond sympathetically with a laugh and tell you they were just doing a little trolling. That doesn't make the songs better, as I previously explained, but that also doesn't make them worse. What pisses me off the most about this garbage is that if you went back in time and asked this guy in 2013 what the hell he was thinking, he'd probably be confused. He'd tell you that this song is awesome. And that does make it worse.
Hey girl. She say she love my body, she wanna make it pop. She say she love my body, she wanna kiss the top. Hey girl. She say she love my body, she love my lollipop.
There's something very wrong here. This guy, Major Ali, also known as Major, Bell Major, and the Major formerly known as Ali, did a lot of the song's production work on his own, if the order of the credits on Wikipedia are to be believed. And I don't know why he decided to construct a beat entirely out of squeaky chairs, door hinges, and sprinklers.
Why you on the table? Cause you know I'm watching. She says she love my Molly.
It's like one of those Andrew Huang-style household object beat challenges, except if instead it was done by someone who sucks at making beats. And he sucks at rapping too. As if this conveyor belt squeak shit isn't bad enough, he decided that every single one of his lines ought to also end with a squeak.
So we can leave this party and go back to my hotel and don't stop for her body.
Squeak, squeak, squeakity, squeak, squeak. Was this song written for mice? Is this mouse language?
I hope you could take it when I make you call me Poppy.
I don't know how this shit managed to crack the top 20. I can barely stand 10 seconds of it at a time. I'm kinda disappointed that I wasted the Chinese water torture comparison on Party by Chris Brown, because it fits a lot better here. Every 2 seconds, there's a new stupid thing to be annoyed by. Whether it's a new awful sound or a new dumb line.
Got a piece of candy and it's all for you.
Apparently this guy grew up in Detroit and only moved to California around 2013 when he started almost blowing up. I think that explains what happened here. He made this song right in that little window of time after he first heard people using the Valley Girl accent around him, but before he realized that everyone hates the Valley Girl accent.
Say she love the party. Girl, I love your body. Why you on the table? Cause you know I'm watching.
And this chorus is so fucking horrible, it's hard to describe. Why did he decide to put a shepherd's tone in there? You're just going up and up and up forever? You guys know I hate it when a chorus is all build up and no resolve. Well, this chorus is half build up, which unresolves into another build up, which unresolves back into the first build up again. Why would you do that? Do you hate humanity? I'm sure you've all picked up on the lyrics by now. Then again, some of you might have missed it. Almost every single song with sexual themes vaguely disguised in a metaphor of any kind will have a litany of comments claiming they didn't get the joke however many years ago. On the music video to Lolly by Major Ali, I found possibly the most depressing comment of that type. 7-year-old me was obsessed with this song, but 6 years later just realizing what the lyrics mean. 7 years old. Kids as young as 7 years old were willingly subjecting themselves to the kind of songs they would use as audio torture on Guantanamo Bay. Something is seriously wrong with the world. But yeah, can we talk about these lyrics? Specifically the line, she say she love my lolly, she wanna make it pop. What the fuck is that?
She say she love her lolly, she wanna make it pop.
We're just gonna ignore the new unfortunate connotations that the word has now. Weirdly enough, I haven't heard of this song being used in any creepshit anime edits. It's even too weird sounding for that side of the community. But let's not. The word means lollipop here. And good fucking god, she wants to make it pop?
She say she love her lolly, she wanna make it pop.
This song makes me want to offer an apology to Lil Wayne. At least he kept it simple.
She licked me like a lollipop. Oh yeah, I like that. Like a lollipop.
She licked me like a lollipop. Lil Wayne's dick is not actually a lollipop in the metaphor, it's just about the way the lady's tongue is moving. That's fine. Meanwhile, Major Ali lays it out pretty explicitly. She say she love my lolly, she wanna make it pop. His dick is the lollipop. That's bad. That's very bad. And when he says that she wants to make it pop, I don't picture ejaculation. I picture the head of the dick exploding. And that doesn't even crack the top 10 reasons why that's a bad metaphor. Yes, I made a top 10 list. For real, here it is.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, lollipop.
Boom, 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 boom.
Number 10. Lollipops are usually very small. The rare big ones are also weirdly shaped. Number 9. Lollipops are usually bright red or bright blue or rainbow colored. That's very unnatural. Number 8. I don't know about you guys, but I mainly associate lollipops with the doctor's office and the barbershop. Not sexy. Number 7. Lollipops are served on a really thin stick. A dinky little paper stick, basically a toothpick. The proportions don't line up unless you're very, very unlucky. Number 6. Good luck explaining what the mystery flavor is supposed to be. Number 5. Lollipops are not masculine. Sorry, they just aren't. It's a goofy looking object and a goofy sounding word. Number 4. What are the balls? If the pop is the head and the stick is the shaft, what are the balls? You can't just ignore the balls. Number 3. When you bite a lollipop, it shatters. Ow. Number 2, when a lollipop is eaten, the head dissolves. That's terrifying. Number 1, when's the last time you saw an adult woman eat a lollipop?
I'ma tell the waitress that my baby need a bottle.
No, bad. Very bad. Very, very bad. Get this fucking guy off the stage. I don't even care who you replace him with. Anyone would be better at rapping than this guy.
Throwing up a Gino, like a mad casino. I'm all fancy.
Well, I guess this is my fault. I did say anyone.
You know I'm a real OG and baby, I ain't from the
Real OG? You know you're Justin Bieber, right? The last time you tried to rap, you rambled about fondue and said the word swaggy.
I'm all fancy, I'm popping Pellegrino.
Are you even old enough to drink yet, dude? I guess that's why they censored that line on the radio.
I'm all fancy, I'm popping Pellegrino.
I was getting drinks and I was getting snacks, and I mean I was taking photos in the back with all the students. It was fun.
Wait a minute, drinks? You're 19 years old.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby. All right.
Windows down, speakers loud. Look down at my sneakers now. Got so many features that
Oh, 2013 Bieber. You were so much less cool than you thought you were.
Let's just admit that I'm the bestest.
Fine, Bieber. You're the bestest at being the worstest. You tried, Connor Maynard. It was a valiant effort, but nothing can compare to the real thing.
Meet me on the 6th floor. No, you ain't a model. You should let me take some pics.
Take a pic of my balls, you twerp. Bottom 5 rap verse of the decade. Who thought this would work? Also, how the fuck did they convince Juicy J to show up? Bieber may be 3 years too young for this, but Juicy J is about 12 years too old and 15 times too good to be here. His verse is barely okay and it's the best one by far. However, Bieber's verse is the most replayed part of the music video, so I guess he wins. So that makes Juicy J the most talented, Bieber the most popular, and it leaves Major Ali with nothing, which is what he deserved and what he would continue to get. Major, say it with me, never had another song touch any charts. Guys, I've seen so many discographies that look like this in the past month that empty grids are chasing me down alleyways of my nightmares now. To his credit, Major did keep producing beats for about 2 years after this, and he was the go-to guy for a lot of big names, like the aforementioned Bieber. Also, R. Kelly.
Thank you. I just wanna thank you. I just wanna thank you.
And even Meghan Trainor.
I'm all about that bass, no treble. I'm all about that bass.
Yeah, this is real.
Bass. I'm all about that bass. I'm all about that bass.
You're all about that bass, huh, Bieber? So, you're an ass guy now. You moved on from tits pretty quick, considering it sounds like you just got weaned off breast milk 2 weeks ago.
Take it to a whole nother level.
Major was also kind enough to lend some of his masterclass work to some lesser-known artists. Here's how that went.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Yeah. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
What a good Samaritan.
I'm feeling so good. Hands up. Hey girl, won't you let me fill your cup? VIP.
Trans rights?
I'ma put it on you. Tell me when you coming, baby, I'ma come.
His most recent credited work was the beat for a Bow Wow song off the album Underrated, which to my knowledge does not currently exist and might never exist. And yeah, that's a fitting conclusion to all this. I'd say everything worked out in the end. Major seems like the kind of guy to invest in Bitcoin, so I'd say no doubt he's living it up right now. Bieber smartened up after a year or so of this and went back to making pop music, at least until DJ Khaled got his little claws on him that one time. And of course, Juicy J managed to completely live this down. He lived down the verse on 23, too. And the She Knows verse. Really, he can do whatever he wants and he'll still always have been in 3-6 Mafia, there's no taking that from him. Though I imagine not many Juicy J fans consider Lolly to be one of his good ones. Then again, maybe they do. They seem to like this little ditty from 2008. Yeah, this isn't even the first lollipop genital song Juicy J's been involved with. Except in Pop That Body, the lollipop is a pussy. Which makes even less sense and is an even worse metaphor. Here's 10 reasons why.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lollipop.
Boom, 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 boom.
Number 10. So which part is the labia exactly? The rapper?
Everything I said, messing with your head, messing with your head, whoa, messing with your head.
Some songs require no introduction. This song is called Beat It. It's by Chris Brown. It's a song called Beat It, featuring Chris Brown.
Not a problem, baby.
1 second. Is he rubbing it in? He has to be, right? There's no way they didn't know what they were doing here. This is Chris Brown being smarmy and glib about his domestic violence charge that he would have still been in prison for in 2015 if the world were truly just. This is Chris Brown's Izzo. It took me 3 takes to get that line right because I kept gagging during the first 2. I'm not exactly sure what it is about Chris Brown, but being around him makes other people worse. I recently went back and revisited Post to Be for that DJ Mustard bit I did like an hour ago, thinking maybe I'd discover I was too harsh on it back in 2015 when I put it on a worse list. I mean, yeah, it's not good, but is it that bad? Yes, it's that bad. It's one of 2015 Mustard's more sufferable beats, I guess, but the rest is awful. Mr. Brown's verse is garbage. It's the biggest waste of Janae Aiko the world's ever seen. Why the autotune? She doesn't need autotune! And it's a career worst performance from Omarion. He's an asshole on this in a very familiar way.
Make your girl fall in love when I show up. It's not my fault, she wanna know me. She told me it was just a Hummer.
It sounds less like a bad Omarion verse and more like Chris Brown temporarily possessed Omarion's body. I think the same thing happened here. I'm not kidding, there's parts in this music video where Sean Kingston's mouth moves and Chris Brown's voice comes out. It's fucking terrifying. Was this foreshadowing Freaky Friday the whole time? Yeah, that's why this is ultimately the Chris Brown song that made the cut. The man had plenty of contenders, but frankly, he lost the ability to be a disappointment by the time Fortune came out. On the other hand, dragging a lovable guy down with you to the pits of hell? Heinous and inexcusable.
I've been out here looking for a girl like you.
Sean Kingston, you're making me sad, dude. Seriously, why the fuck did he do this? He built up his reputation being a goofy, charming guy. He sings funny songs about dumb love. He's shaped like a friend. One of his biggest hits is with Justin Bieber. He was on The Sweet Life on Deck, for fuck's sake. This ugly, dark, gut punch shit is so out of left field for him. Seriously, this beat is like an elephant stomping on my face over and over. It's dour and vile even by CB standards, and Sean Kingston's supposed to make dance music. How does one dance to this? Imagine someone dancing to this. What would that even look like? Actually, yeah, that's it. Yeah, nice try, buddy. You are no threat to my masculinity, Mr. Mighty Mo. You see what I'm talking about, right? All this macho posturing, that's Chris Brown's influence, and it's so painfully forced. Sean Kingston's the type of guy who gets suicidal when girls are too hot. He raps a playground chant when a girl starts talking to another guy. He turns into a Jimmy Neutron character when he gets rejected. He is not Mr. Steal Your Girl. He won't even make eye contact with your girl. But Chris Brown will send your girl to the hospital, then send you to the hospital over a parking space, then beat up your dad, yell slurs at your friend, and threaten your sister with firearms. And maybe in a different world, the two could have met somewhere in the middle and we could pretend it's 2008 again and Chris Brown is still some goofy kid who sings about kisses and hugs. But no, this real-life supervillain took Sean Kingston and dragged him all the way down to his level. Almost. Some of these lyrics are honestly too weak to even be properly douchey. You can tell it's his first time doing this.
I've been out here looking for a girl like you. So already settled down and loyal to your.
Yeah, girl, I want you because you're already in a relationship. What was that? Oh, we're not supposed to say that part out loud. Oh, my bad, my bad. Hey girl, can I start over?
You got your eyes on me, and girl, I got my eyes on green. Your nigga, he's so bummy, need to boost his self-esteem.
Yeah, girl, date famous dork-ass weirdo Sean Kingston. That'll boost your self-esteem, alright? Or maybe Chris Brown. He'll make you feel great about yourself. Well, I hope getting to live the life of a meat-headed douche bro for 4 minutes was worth it for him, because, say it with me, this would be the last Sean Kingston, so you get it by now. Back to Life was a very ironic name for this album indeed, up there with the Black Eyed Peas' The Beginning. Personally, I'm shocked that a Sean Kingston album with features from T.I., 2 Chainz, Yo Gotti, and of course Chris Brown, barely sold any copies. I guess there's not as much overlap between those fan bases and Sean Kingston's army of Disney viewers as we thought there would be. And I just can't believe that his amazing Roadrunner impression didn't win anyone over. Wait, play that again. Why does that kind of sound like... One sec. Just one sec.
You say you wanna fly, nigga. Roll something and get high, nigga.
And that's not all. Wiz Khalifa is here too. Thank God. I was starting to worry there'd only be 2 incompetent douchebags on this song. So glad we have a third one. Rule of threes and all that. This guy can't string together a coherent couplet to save his fucking life. The fact that he only made this list once is sheer dumb luck.
Trying to get you back to my crib. Seen all them.
I'm not gonna say too much about the Wiz Khalifa verse because the guy couldn't even bother to finish the fucking thing. Look at that, it's asymmetrical. There's supposed to be 8 bars here, but he only wrote enough lines for 6. And they're all filler lines too, with weird gaps everywhere, no zingers. So fuck it. If he's not gonna finish his... I used to consider this a pretty exclusive list. It's not hard to make a bad song, but making one of the worst songs of an entire decade, that takes a serious effort. This list used to be a relatively exclusive club, populated almost entirely by the most disastrous failures and flameouts known to man. Robin Thicke, Andy Grammer, Iggy Azalea, Emblem 3, Major Ali, Red Foo, until I remembered this one song. And suddenly the door swung wide open. Now it's full of normal artists who never belonged here. Shawn Mendes, Charlie Puth, maybe those do kind of belong here, but Sia? Halsey? John Legend? Snoop Dogg? Lil Jon? Miguel? Justin Bieber, nice to see you here again. Ariana Grande, what the hell are you doing here? Kevin Hart? You don't even make music. What happened? Who's to blame for this? Who's to blame?
We love the earth. It is our planet.
I recently got a comment on one of my videos, or maybe it was one of me and Sean's collaborations, one of those two. The comment suggested that Earth by Lil Dicky might go viral on TikTok soon, since its grotesque and childish sense of humor might appeal to the TikTok user base. You'll notice that I did not include a screenshot of this comment. That's because I very intentionally did not go looking for it again, because every time I see it, I lose the will to live for a solid 2 hours. If you are watching this video, and you left that comment, I forgive you, but why exactly would you make me imagine such a horrifying, tragic future? What do you gain from that? Lil Dicky never released another single after this, probably because he used all of his connections at once and irreparably damaged them in one go, effectively blacklisting himself from the entire music industry. And honestly, he should be thanking his lucky stars that that's all that happened, because at most points in human history, he would have been physically punished for doing something like this. Apparently, he's making a TV show now. I'm not going to watch it, but I've heard people say that it's pretty good, and God, I hope they're right. In fact, I hope the show is great. I hope it's so amazing that he never even considers reviving the Mr. Wiener project ever again in his entire life. Fingers fucking crossed. These last two songs are so bad that I feel the need to put up a content note. I'm serious. Feel free to click off this video if you need to. Not joking, for real this time. Alright, let's get this over with. Remember when I said that I crowdsourced some of the research for this video? Made some tweets, made a community post. You want to know what was probably the single most common response I got?
But first, let me take a selfie.
Yeah, hashtag selfie by the Sick Boys. The third song to have the brilliant idea to put a hashtag in its title, and the first one where it actually sounds like it belongs there. I get it. I considered it. But ultimately I decided against putting it on here because I don't want to give it too much credit. First of all, it's not worse than Sick Boy, which disqualified on that merit alone, but even if Sick Boy never happened, Selfie is just too pathetic to be a worst song of all time in my book. I mean, I certainly hate it. I hate songs that are intentionally designed to be as annoying as possible, as much as the next guy, probably more than the next guy considering how long this video is. But as far as intentionally irritating beats go, this one's pretty tame.
I want to be clever. How about living with my bitches, hashtag live.
Toss in some whoops and sirens and get back to me. Either way, my question remains the same as it always does. Why? Why did you make the song sound bad? What's the purpose? And this time the answer is obvious. The purpose is that they're pieces of shit.
Wait, pause. Jason just liked my selfie. What a creep. Is that guy sleeping over there?
Oh, you hate basic bitches, huh, Sick Boys? How original. Tell me all about it. Oh, I know, they're weird little flings and their annoying little accents and their stupid selfies. Shut the fuck up. You are literally the Sick Boys. I see what you're doing, you assholes. You're trying to use this awful beat to Pavlov me into hating women. Oh, she's being so annoying. No, Sick Boys, you're being annoying. And if I put your stupid little song on my list, it'll be like a tacit admission that the woman is annoying. Well, it's not gonna work, because she's not. Nothing she says is even that weird. I'd go as far as to say she raises a few good points.
It's not even summer. Why does the DJ keep on playing Summertime Sadness?
See? That's a good question. You know what else is a good question? What would it take to turn Selfie into actual worst of all time material? Let me rephrase that question. What if someone tried to remake Selfie, tried to make a song with the same general sound and the same general idea, that sometimes a bitch just needs to shut her yapper, but then ended up making a very different song?
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's time to party!
This video took a lot of research. When you're claiming to represent such a broad and vague category as almost hits, you gotta do your due diligence. I ended up reading a bunch of worst songs in the 2010s list made by other people, just to see if I was missing anything. And as it turns out, holy fucking shit, yes I was! Because among the list of resources I used for this video is the Wikipedia article titled List of Music Considered the Worst. It's got all the classics: We Built This City, Achy Breaky Heart, Ice Ice Baby, and when you scroll down to the 2010 section, you find, of course, Baby by Justin Bieber, Chinese Food by Elson Gold, which has like 10 citations for some reason, and would you look at that, there it is, Literally I Can't by Playing Skills and Friends. Which is odd because, yeah, I kinda remember that song, I remember it being pretty bad, but I don't remember it going nearly as bad viral as the other songs on the article. Then you click on the citation and it sends you to a list created by Billboard themselves. Surely they know what they're talking about, right? They consider this to be the worst single to chart between the years of 2010 and 2015. Not one of the worst, the worst. I agree, but that's a hell of a statement, isn't it? It's lower on this list than Dirty Bit, the only actual hit to make it on their list, so you know they dug deep. Even lower than some song called Pussy Overrated, lower than Instagram That Hoe, lower than that one super heavy song from earlier, lower than Achy Breaky 2. What is this, a crossover episode? Look at that, the music video's gone. Wonder why. The article cited the song's intense misogyny as its main problem, and if we return back to the Wikipedia article, we see the line, several media outlets called this song misogynistic after release, so I guess it wasn't just Billboard, it was a lot of people. Let's take a quick listen and see if we can find out why.
A shot of vodka,
I can't.
tequila,
I can't.
at the party.
I can't. Literally, I can't. Ew.
You see? It's just like I said, they're doing Selfie again. There's a lady saying some stuff, and it's over an ear-grating beat, so you know by association it's supposed to be annoying. But what exactly is she saying? Let's run that back again.
Where your friend? I can't. Girl on girl? I can't. Literally, I can't.
She's saying no. Is that supposed to be a problem?
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up!
Oopsie doopsie, we did a fucky wucky. We wanted to make a song about how annoying it is when women talk too much, but we went too far and made a song about how much we hate it when women say no when you try to get them drunk and fuck them, and a video where we force ourselves on them anyways. We're very, very sorry about this anti-consent anthem. Our code monkeys are working super duper hard to fix this. People like to get mad at the word misogyny. Probably a carryover from the 2014 happenings that we don't need to get into. Maybe the word was kind of overused at some point. Maybe stuff like manspreading is really goofy and frivolous. Sure, whatever. But I hope we can all agree that the word does indeed apply to these frat bullies loudly and angrily shouting at a girl to stop not letting them date rape her. Because if it doesn't apply to them, then who does it apply to?
A shot of vodka. I can't. Tequila. I can't. At the party. I can't. Oh my God! Shut the fuck up!
When Billboard called this a woman-bashing anthem, it was a fucking understatement. Look at that video again if you can stomach it. Lil Jon exclaims, "Oh my God, stop saying no to our advances!" And then these dudes circle in like vultures onto these women who are extremely visibly uncomfortable and yelling out for help. I immediately see why they deleted this, though I don't see why they ever made it. Is this supposed to be funny? How exactly is this funny? These guys are monsters. I want to deck them all in the face. Especially this one.
We in the club. We
Oh, God fucking damn it, not again. Oh wait, that's Red Foo, not syphilis. Thank God. Just keep mixing them up for some reason.
You got a big old butt. I can tell by the way you walking, but you annoying me, 'cause you're talking,
No, you cannot backpedal like that, Red Foo. They're not just talking, that's not what's happening here. This is already a song about how much it totally sucks when women express their boundaries and don't let you get them drunk so you can fuck them while their defenses are down. That context has been clearly established. You cannot just pretend it's some innocent little blah 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 2.0.
Trying to see what you got, not trying to hear what you think.
Don't be a little bitch with your chit chat. Just show me where your dick is.
But even if it is just blah 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 2.0, this is still very, very bad. Stop talking and show off your body for me is an ugly message even out of this context. And I'm like 85% sure that Kesha behaved the way she did on Blah 3X, specifically to make a caricature out of the annoying and objectifying way that men like Red Foo treat women at clubs for real.
Get loud while I Instagram ya. Shh, don't talk about it, be about it.
Does Red Foo have a gram of irony anywhere in his body? Do you think if he got a drawing from one of those caricature artists at the beach, he'd look at it and say, "Wow, you really captured my likeness. The ears are a little bit too big though, you may want to work on that."
Your opinion, girl, I'm sipping on this drink.
I'm gonna take a quick break from the dark shit to point out that this beat sounds like a dumpster fire. It's one of the worst beats I've ever heard, and it just gets worse as it keeps going and more shit gets added onto it. But yeah, no shit, it's a Red Foo song, of course it sounds like that. Playing Skills did most of the production work according to Wikipedia, but from the sound of this, I can tell what happened.
I can't. Oh my God! Shut the fuck up!
You guys really gotta stop letting Red Foo touch the computers, man. I just put gloves on him, put the laptop on a high shelf, I don't know, just do something.
They'll read about it, and you could be winning.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost want to give Red Foo the benefit of the doubt. He's always been very bad at saying things that make sense. He genuinely might be too stupid to realize what type of song he's actually on right now. But this other guy, he got the memo.
Put your lips on my bottle. Let me see you take it to the head, girl. I know that you can. I don't want to hear no.
Okay, look, I'm not going to take no for an answer because I just refuse to do that because I'm a winner. And winners, we don't listen to words like no or don't or stop. Those words are just not in our vocabulary.
I know that you can. I don't want to hear no.
Yeah, this guy knows what song he's on, all right. Jump in front of a car. Do it. I'm serious. Jump in front of a car. Do it. Right now. Jump in front of a fucking car.
I can't. Tequila. I can't. At the party. I can't.
God, I can't stand this fucking chorus, man. It's so self-evidently disgusting what they're doing here. Trying to take the situation they're presenting and manipulating it with his beats. Just like #selfie, but a million fucking times worse. Because she's not loudly having fun or taking selfies or anything that can remotely be interpreted as narcissistic or annoying or even frivolous. She's just saying no. That's all she's doing. How is that wrong? Because the song tries to make you think it's wrong.
Literally, I can't. Ew. Literally, I can't. Ew. Literally, I can't. Ew.
They make the girl talk with this really forced, awkward diction. They play her saying no over and over to make it feel bothersome. They make her say literally a bunch because that was the anti-millennial meme at the time. These stupid kids using the word literally wrong. But she's not using it wrong. She's being insistent, which is good. And you should listen, you fucking freaks. I frankly don't trust anything that tries to make me think that a girl who's saying no is being a brat who needs to loosen up. Especially because this is a girl, and these are middle-aged men. Red Foo and Little John were both 40 years old when this song and video dropped. Creeping on 20-somethings when you're that old is bad enough on its own, but also getting very frustrated and forceful when they're predictably uncomfortable with the situation. I said it once, I'll say it again. Monsters. And it's no surprise that, say it with me, actually I'm not sure if Plain Skill's next several songs ended up charting because their discography page doesn't even list chart placements. But I do know they only had one other song even with a link attached to it, so yeah, it's safe to say these guys didn't enjoy much more success in the wake of this abhorrent monstrosity we see before us. It's also not exactly surprising that all the official uploads of this song are very promptly deleted from YouTube and Spotify. Not unlike...
Yeah, I really appreciate you.
Actually, I'm not sure if this last one ever was on Spotify. If so, it certainly wasn't there for long, because it did not take anyone involved much time to realize that releasing this to the public was a horrible mistake. This song deserves the #1 spot, not because it sounds the worst, not because it's the worst written, not because it's the most annoying or the most incompetent, but because it's the only song on the whole list that is so bad, I honestly believe the person who made it deserves to go to prison for it. Most of you probably already know what it is and have known the entire time. For those of you who don't, feel free to leave within the next 5 seconds, lest you be cursed for the rest of your life with the knowledge of this monstrosity. Still here? Okay. Take a deep breath. Remember that time Tyga fucked a 17-year-old?
Why the fuck you so opinionated? Saying how you do it, but ain't did it, baby. You need a demonstration.
Hi, Tyga. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm stimulated. I'm at the bank. I'm penetrating. I'm putting in. I'm penetrating. I'm getting big. I'm stimulated.
There's this website called Rate Your Music, which is a great place to go to if you ever wonder what Radiohead fans think about other songs. I've been waiting to use that joke for 3 years, so I hope you laughed. It's sort of like IMDb for music, in that it's both a rating system and a very useful archival service. You might recall it's one of the only remaining forms of evidence that Bangladesh produced Drop Girl. And as time goes on and people forget, it may just be one of the last places on Earth where you can read about Stimulated by Tyga. Because it doesn't just say the title and the artist. Each song also comes with a genre tag and a list of descriptors. The descriptors for Stimulated by Tyga are as follows: disturbing, crime, sexual, vulgar, hedonistic, sampling, and male vocals. Oh yeah, there's male vocals, alright.
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
A little context for the dozen of you guys who don't already know this. Back in 2015, Tyga started dating Kylie Jenner. Kylie was 17 years old. That is bad. They met in 2012 when she was 14. That makes it even worse. Tyga was 22 when he met her and 25 when they started dating. That makes me nauseous. The overwhelming response to this news was, dude, really? That's fucked up. But I did see a few people defend the guy. I don't like that I saw that, but I did. Some people, back when the news first dropped, looked at everything and said, close enough. But then Stimulated dropped, and I didn't hear a single word from any of those people after that.
Shut the fuck and let me finish, baby. I'll let you finish later.
All the ephebophile enjoyers suddenly had nothing to say, because Tyga had painted the worst possible picture of himself, and no one wanted to be associated with that shit. Turns out, sometimes honesty is not the best policy, especially when the truth is that there was no love in this relationship. There was no respect, he was just horny and impatient and he didn't give a shit.
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
It's really not every day you hear a statutory rapist come out loud and proud and say, yes, I did it, and I do not regret it. Truly remarkable in the worst possible sense of the word.
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
I'm honestly at a bit of a loss for words. This is textbook self-incrimination. Confession to the crime, statement of full intent to offend, knowledge of wrongdoing, and lack of remorse. It's all there. Yes, he did it. Yes, he knows he should have waited until she turned 18. Yes, he did not because he did not feel like it. And the worst part, yes, he genuinely does think it's okay because she sure feels old enough when he's fucking her.
She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
Not even the go-to line that she's so mature for her age. Just her vagina. This goes beyond creep shit. This is just a felony. And the clinical language makes my stomach churn.
I'm putting in, yeah, I'm penetrating, I'm getting big, yeah, I'm stimulated.
It's like he's talking back to the prosecution. Your Honor, the defendant sits here today accused of penetrating an underage girl. Yeah, I penetrated her, but I also stimulated her. Haha, you get me? You get me? Aw, damn, I guess they didn't get me.
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
I might have to take back what I said about Sick Boy. This is the worst chorus written by anyone over the age of 20. Because the fact that this guy was over the age of 20 makes this admissible in court. How does one even properly respond to a line like this? Several articles about this song made heavy use of the caps lock key. Even people with, like, degrees in journalism couldn't calmly process this, so how the fuck am I supposed to? Frankly, I'm tempted to just go do the lawnmower bit again. You know what?
Any last words?
Man, she might have been 17, but her vagina was a solid 22.
So why the fuck you so opinionated, saying how you do it but they ain't did it, babe?
The parts of this song that aren't him bragging about his statutory escapades are spent dealing with the haters, a group that at the time consisted largely of prosecutors. He's trying to give off the impression that he doesn't care what the haters think, and normally I'd say that that comes off as insecure. Why would you address these people in your minor banging anthem if you really don't care about them? But actually no, this time around I think I believe him. He's not bothered by the haters. If he were, he'd try to placate them. Maybe say something like, oh, I love her so much, I just couldn't wait, it was all romantic, whatever, Romeo and Juliet something. But he comes off as so genuinely abusive in this song that I think it's a fair bet to say that his goal was to make people hate him more.
I touched a bitch, she disintegrated.
Calling her a bitch. Great start. Is it really a surprise the two broke up after she turned 19 and then he immediately tried to hit up a 14-year-old?
Shut the fuck and let me finish, baby. I'll let you finish later.
Really, just a hell of a thing to say to the high school student you're boning, you fucking freak. How much conditioning did it take for her to get to that point where she lets you talk to her like that, you actual real-life demon?
Tsunami the rolling, my wrist is flooded.
I'm not exactly sure what your expensive possessions have to do with any of this, but now that you mention them here, they can be seized as evidence, so nice job, bozo.
You need a demonstration?
No, the fuck, I do not need a demonstration, Jesus Christ.
They say she young, I should've waited. She a big girl dog when she stimulated.
And let's not forget that big girl is a horrible choice of words here. That's what you call your 7-year-old daughter when she learns how to tie her shoes.
She a big girl dog.
As far as I know, Tyga was never actually punished for this. Even after he sent those weird texts to a 14-year-old girl, nothing explicitly illegal that we know of happened that time, but it's a hell of a pattern, dude. Not much other bad news came out about this guy after the fact, so either he stopped being a creeper on his own accord or he just got better at hiding it. Either way, absolutely not good enough. Check his hard drives at least. And why on earth did we let him keep getting hits after this? I mean, yeah, the guy had a rough 2016 and 2017, but then Taste came out and it was kind of catchy and everyone just forgot. That was it. He had 3 minor hits in 2019. He had a song with Doja Cat last year. He's still making regular guest appearances. Of all the people today about which I have said, never had another single touch of charts, why couldn't this guy be one of them? His career stalled up for 2 years. He should have gotten a 2-year sentence minimum. Tyga isn't even a good rapper. He's never dropped a bar someone else couldn't have dropped better. We didn't keep him around because he's good, because he's clearly not. Did we just keep him around because he already happened to be there? Are we just too lazy to hold people accountable? How can we, as a society, stop normalizing this kind of behavior? Why am I asking these questions? What do I even aim to accomplish? Stimulated by Tyga is the worst almost hit song of the 2010s. It's not particularly close.
She a big girl dog, I'm putting in, yeah, I'm penetrating, I'm getting big, yeah, I'm stimulated.
One last thing. You might have noticed by now that this beat actually sounds kind of okay. Obviously, Tyga did not make this, it's a sample. More like a full rip, actually. If you don't know what the name of the sampled song is, guess. Go ahead, take a guess. If you know, please don't spoil it. I want to see the look on these guys' faces. All right, you got your guess? You ready? Here's the answer. Yeah. Sleep tight, everyone. And lock your doors.
Meow.